Price of freedom is death. We are coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters. Welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I appreciate every single last one of you all for being here. We have much to discuss because ICE is here. Winter has come, ICE is here, and the deportation wave has started. The deportation wave has officially begun. Mass deportation is officially here, and ICE is not playing any games. ICE is sitting up here standing on business. Now, Donald Trump has just been sworn in, and he has signed a record-breaking number of executive orders, many of which was his campaign promises. Of course, some of the biggest ones was definitely to get ICE in here and to get ICE to mass deport all of these illegal aliens. So we got a lot to discuss, and because it's 2025 and I don't think we've done this yet, I haven't taken any of your calls, so I'm going to do that a little bit later on. But we got a lot to discuss, and then I want to get the feedback from the family about how we feeling about this situation. So y'all make sure y'all locked in. Now, as you guys are coming in, I appreciate you guys for being here. I know we were supposed to be here start like 30 minutes ago, but I was having weird technical issues. But we're here now, and I hope that you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new, all of that stuff. Be heavy in the chat room this evening. We're going to play this copyright disclaimer to make sure that this broadcast is protected under the guise of fair use. So you guys hit that like button, and we're going to get started. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. The first thing I want to do before I get started is because one of the executive orders that Donald Trump has signed is to what a lot of people are saying is to end birthright citizenship. That's not fully the case. Donald Trump has not signed an executive order that completely ends birthright citizenship. So we're going to explain exactly what's in this executive order. We're going to kind of break it down, and we're going to go into it. And we're going to see how this affects us, if it does affect us, if it does benefit us, if it does not. So going through, this is the first thing. We're going to be skipping through. Now, you guys can look it up. This is the official website from whitehouse.gov. All right. So this isn't like AP or MSNBC making their own interpretation. This is the official executive order. So we're saying Section 1, purpose. The privileges of United States citizenship is a priceless and profound gift. The 14th Amendment states, quote, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction, therefore, are citizens of the United States and of the states therein they reside. That provision rightly, excuse me, sorry, y'all. Sorry, I'm having weird technical issues, y'all. And I had this the last time. I don't know what's going on. All right. Sorry. Some things are popping up on the my computer. I gotta close some things out. Things are just starting to pop up all of a sudden. All right. So I'm gonna start over. My computer's acting a little funny right now. Okay, so the rights and privileges are to the United States and everything like that. And then it just quotes right here what the thing is. And then it says the provision rightly repudiates the Supreme Court and the United States shameful decision of Dred Scott. So they're saying that Dred Scott was a shameful decision which misinterpreted the Constitution as permanently excluding people of African descent from eligibility of the United States citizenship solely based on their race. So this is saying that this is not to change the 14th Amendment. Now we're going to scroll down to get to what this is about. All right, because we got a lot to cover. I don't know why. I apologize for I told y'all my computer's tripping. I don't know what's going on. All right, so we're going to scroll down to say what is this about. When they say he ended it, he technically didn't. It says right here. Okay. Among the categories of individuals born in the United States and not subject to the jurisdiction thereof, the privilege of the United States citizenship does not automatically extend to persons born in the United States. When a person's mother was unlawfully present in the United States and the father was not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident at the time of said person's birth, or when a person's mother persists in the United States at the time of said person's birth was unlawful but temporarily, quote, and then they do the things such as but not limited to visiting the United States under aspects of the visa waiver program or visiting on a student work or tourist visa, and the father was not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident at the time of person said birth. Okay, so we're gonna get that off the thing. So what does this mean? What does this mean? This means that any person who was born here, now when they say he ended birthright citizenship, this is not in birthright citizenship. This is really an update to what the situation is, because the birthright citizenship thing has been abused. It's been abused for many years. I'm going to show you guys some clips to show you how this has been abused. What Trump has done with this executive order is he is saying, after 30 days after signing the executive order, if you are someone who your mother is illegally in the country and your father is illegally in the country, you are not automatically granted birthright citizenship. So I want you guys to understand who this applies to. This does not apply to us as foundational Black Americans. He's not even going back. This is not a retroactive executive order. This is an executive order going for 30 days in the future, because we have an anchor baby issue. Now, to discuss this anchor baby issue, I have some clips, and this spans like a decade or so ago. Look at this, y'all.
In a developing story, a new report about the number of kids born to undocumented immigrants in the U.S. The Pew Hispanic Center just released these numbers. Nearly 1 in 12 babies, according to the Hispanic Center, were born to undocumented immigrants in 2008. 16% were born to legal immigrants. Nicole Collins joins us live from Washington, D.C. this morning. And Nicole, is there a lot of surprise about these numbers?
I think for some people, certainly not, Kirk.
Now, I want you to understand, just to pause this. This was an issue during the Obama administration. This news clip is from 2010. This is how long this has been an issue. This is not no new thing because Trump wants to have a talking point, a political talking point. This has been a problem before Trump even decided to run for president. This has been an issue since this clip has been since the Obama administration, because they've been using this as loopholes. Just for context of why you think it looks so old-fashioned.
You know, one of the really interesting points that this study made was that of undocumented parents in the U.S., 79% of their children were born here. That's quite a bit. So the study also shows that many of these children are Latino, and the study states that foreign-born Hispanics produce more children than Hispanics who were born in the U.S. Now, this all kind of comes back to the 14th Amendment, which has been a big discussion since immigration has come to the forefront in recent months. The 14th Amendment states that children born here in the U.S., regardless of what their parents' status is, those people become U.S. citizens. So proponents of tougher immigration laws say this is a loophole. They have a big problem with it. And, you know, they say statistics like these are really a reason to change that 14th Amendment. So at this point, though, you know, it's unclear if Congress would do anything about that. Lindsey Graham, a senator, a Republican senator from South Carolina, has come out and said that this gives people an incentive to break the law, to have these anchor babies, as they're called. People call them anchor babies because part of the law allows these children to petition to have other family members come to the U.S. Later on, once those children become 21, so sort of anchoring them to the U.S. and providing a way for some of their relatives to come into the country when they were illegal coming here in the first place to give birth. So that's sort of the backstory there.
So essentially what she's saying, and this is not the only time, what she's saying is that what they do is they come over here, they have a ton of babies. She just explained, based off of the data, that they will have more babies coming here illegally than legal Hispanics do. Legal immigrants have less babies than illegal immigrants. When they come over here and they flood the zone, all right, they try to have as many babies as possible. So that way, if they get deported, they will have anchors, which is what the term, why the term is here. They will have anchors that will be able to vouch for them. One of the big things when it comes to immigration is to have an American citizen vouch for you. All right. So their child will be able to anchor them in, and they will have some type of legal standing to this country. This has been something, a loophole that has been abused for generations. I have something else to show you. Look at this. I mean, I'm talking about, this is a big scandal. This is a really big scandal.
A jury convicted a California couple of running a tourism business to help pregnant Chinese women give birth to babies in the U.S. who would automatically gain U.S. citizenship. Michael Liu and Phoebe Dong were found guilty Friday of 10 counts of money laundering and 1 count of conspiracy. The case comes nearly 10 years after more than a dozen homes were searched across Southern California as part of a crackdown on birth tourism operators. Investigators say the pair encouraged pregnant women to lie on visa documents and hide their pregnancies, suggesting clients wear loose-fitting clothing and not, quote, waddle like a penguin in order to hide pregnancies. The couple ran the company USA Happy Baby, offering services to hundreds of women from 2012 to 2015. Tourists.
Okay, so let me explain what this is, y'all. What they are doing is, these are Asian. I want you to understand, all the illegal immigrant problem is not just Hispanic. These are Asian people who are doing this. A whole scandal. Yes, I know it's hard to believe, the model minority doing crimes. I can't believe it, but yes, it's very, very true. What they're doing is they have a facility and they house a bunch of illegal Asians who come in, a bunch of women who are pregnant. They say, hey, we'll provide you all of the medical care you need. I know, because you're pregnant, you know, a lot of pregnant women, they got to go to the doctor, they got to get checkups, they got to get all that stuff. But hey, we don't want the American government to know that you're pregnant. So you come over here, they got it all set up where they get like medical beds and IV drops and everything that you need. So that way we can take care of you. And then bam, you can just have this surprise baby that can anchor you to the country. And you just give us a little something, something, and you will have an anchor to this country. Because if you go to the hospital and they find out that you're on a visa and they find out that you're not supposed to be here and you're pregnant, then they're going to send you back. And if you don't have the baby here, then the baby's not going to be an American citizen. So this is a thing that they have done. This is a scandal, one of many that they have done. So I want you guys to really understand, this is evidence that this is not something that we're just saying that they're doing out of some conspiracy. People have actually been arrested for this. This is an actual crime that people have been and are currently committing, where they're housing people illegally so they can have babies here that can anchor them to this country. So in this situation, this whole thing, this happened 10 years ago. Oh, I think it happened. Yeah, it happened in 2015. So that's been 10 years. So this has been an issue for a very long time. ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue.
Reportedly paid as much as $40,000 for the services. Liu and Dong were charged in 2019 with more than a dozen others, including a woman who pleaded guilty to running a company known as You Win USA, and she was sentenced to 10 months in prison. Liu and Dong are set to be sentenced December 9th and face up to 20 years in prison. The defense argued birth tourism isn't a crime, and the pair helped women who would have faced punishment under China's former one-child policy. Prosecutors said visiting while pregnant isn't a crime, but deceiving immigration authorities is. Under the 14th Amendment, the U.S. offers birthright citizenship, and parents can apply to become citizens once the child turns 21.
Okay, so this is so you guys understand that this is not about us. You don't see foundational Black Americans with these scandals because we are American. Okay, we don't have to do these little scandals and loopholes and all this stuff to capitalize off the 14th Amendment, because that was made for us. We are American. All right. So don't let anybody try to fear monger you into, oh my God, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. They got stuff online. I'm going to show you some of this. The reactions online to get FBA to be afraid of the kind of update of the 14th Amendment is crazy. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. This person says on X, some of y'all about to learn that the U.S. immigration system hates Black people as much, if not more, than it hates Latinos. Your citizenship won't protect you when they come after birthright citizenship either, gal. So she was responding to somebody. No. We're not going to do that. The immigration system, we're not immigrants. The immigration, they hate y'all as much as they hate us. No, they don't. We not immigrants here. They not going to touch us. We're not immigrants. And this is why us delineating and us making sure that we claim this land and using proper verbiage, such as foundational Black American, clears all of this stuff up. We're not immigrants. Talk about our citizenship won't protect us. Yeah, it will. Yes, it will. Y'all the ones who got to do this little janky thing so y'all can create this little loophole and this crowbar your citizenship in here, and then down the line your baby becomes an adult and they can vouch for you. We don't got to do none of that stuff. There's not a single foundational Black American who is undocumented here. We ain't got none. Who gonna get sent back where? There's no place for us to get sent back because we're not immigrants. But you got some more people tripping about it. Look at this. Look at this. Black people, as it relates to this birthright citizenship / ICE raid situation, please let go of the I'ma mind my business BS. If you think they're not coming for our citizenship as well, you out of your effing mind. No, sweetheart. No, baby, no. Ain't nobody coming for my birthright citizenship. Our birthright citizenship is in the foundation of this country now. All right. What they are doing, what Trump has done with this executive order, is Trump is trying to end the legal loophole of birthright citizenship that has been exploited for decades and decades. This is something that's been exploited. Now, the Democrats and all of the people on the left, they're never going to acknowledge the fact that there are scandals. I have just shown you on 2 different accounts. You got one with Hispanics and then you got one with Asians. I've shown you on 2 different accounts. There are certain people who come over here with the intention, literally with the intention of having a baby in this country. And if they get deported, using the baby as an anchor to come into America. This is a scandal where many people have been arrested. Many people have been deported. It's a scandal that has happened. Many people have actually lost their lives attempting to do this. So this is something that needs to be rectified. Biden didn't try to rectify this at all. Obama didn't try to rectify this at all. Now, a lot of people are saying that, oh, this is going to be challenged in the court system. This is going to be challenged in the court. If it does, here's the thing with that. if it does get challenged and it goes all the way up to the Supreme Court, more than likely, the Supreme Court, depending on what they determine the meaning of the 14th Amendment as, it might get struck down, it might not. But here's the thing. As the people who are in court trying to battle this thing out, the damage is already done at that point. Trump's intended effect for this executive order, it's going to go into effect regardless of what they want. Even if it gets struck down a couple years from now, what he is trying to do is he is trying to say, as ICE is rounding everybody up, he doesn't want a woman to give birth and then ICE deports her, but she still got a legal way to come back into the country. We got to end that loophole. That loophole has been very much so abused and exploited. In the original intent of the 14th Amendment that says that all persons born in this country are United citizen. Yes, that was for us and was for Foundation Black Americans. It was never intended at all for it to be used for Hispanics and Asians to come over here, have babies, and then be all like, I'm an American citizen now. That's never been the intention, but it's been exploited, and it's about time that's over with now. It's over with. A lot of people are upset about that, though. A lot of people are mad about that, though, especially Roland Martin. Now, we all know that Roland Martin, he's not FBA. We all know that. And Roland Martin is a Democratic shield through and through. We know for a fact that Roland Martin is going to be upset about it. We already know that. So here's what Roland Martin had to say on his YouTube channel, such as it is.
The network. This is why I'm wearing my shirt. Don't blame me. I voted for the black woman.
He said he's wearing his shirt. Don't blame me. I voted for the black woman. Who is he talking about? What black woman is he referring to? Because it's damn sure not Kamala. What black? I don't know what black woman he referring to, but okay. He says, don't blame me. I voted for the black woman. Yeah, okay. He might be running out of money trying to sell his merchandise. Okay.
That's why I'm wearing the shirt. We tried to tell y'all, but a lot of folk, y'all didn't pay attention or y'all play other games. You fucked around. Now you're about to find out. Folks, 22 states have filed lawsuits against the Trump administration to challenge an executive order that could revoke U.S. citizenship for some children born in the United States. On Thursday, U.S. District Judge John Kofdor will hear arguments regarding a temporary restraining order to prevent the enforcement of this executive order. Joining us along with Ellie is Yannick Gill, Senior Counsel at Human Rights First. Glad to have you, Yannick. And of course, Ellie, you're still with us, and I still have my panel as well. Yannick, this is very simple. Conservatives want this to go to the Supreme Court. And here's what they know. They now have a 6-3 majority of the Supreme Court. Even though Amy Coney Barrett has ruled in a few cases, even though John Roberts, the reality is they know they have a lot. They want to go after it all. They want to go after the 14th Amendment, the 15th Amendment, and hell, probably the 13th. For everybody who's listening and understand, those were the Reconstruction Amendments passed by radical Republicans after the Civil War. We know what's going on here, Yannick. As Ellie said, they have long despised the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, even the Fair Housing Act. This is an effort to completely undo the Reconstruction Amendments as well as the 1960s and those critical 3 civil rights laws.
And you couldn't say it better. This is not about anti-immigrant sentiment. This isn't even about immigration law. What we are seeing right now is a white backlash. This is anti-immigrant, anti-black legislation.
Anti-black legislation.
Being codified by the man that was voted in, by folks that didn't attribute racism, xenophobia, to themselves. I am gravely concerned about the apathy that I am seeing in Black communities surrounding an attack on immigration communities, immigrant laws. The executive order directly cites the same 14th Amendment you did, as in the Dred Scott Amendment, as in the only reason that we are not seen as property in this country. Donald Trump forecasted all of these issues, and we in the migration space have been monitoring this as early as 2015. This is not a surprise. This is actually an implementation of what he has been trying to do, which is all a nod to the Great Replacement Theory, all that's in Project 2025.
Oh, Lord.
What we have to do now is really focus on what is essentially going to be unconstitutional. But the concern lies with who is going to be impacted, which asylum seekers are going to be impacted, which naturalized born citizens are going to be impacted in the interim. It's a legal mess, but those of us at Human Rights First and those of us that are educated about what is happening have to speak out against this. This can't stand, and we have to look at the pain of others being reflected back on ourselves, because as this executive order is showing.
Well, no, I gotta pause it. I was trying to let him go. I was letting him go for the longest I could. I just couldn't. We gotta reflect on the pain of others, like pain of us. No, we not doing that no more. Oh, that's over with. Oh, you missed that chance a good 6-7 years ago. We've been off that page. You can, we gotta empathize with them and we gotta reflect they pain on up. No, we not doing that. Nobody else does that for us. We sit up there, they come here illegally breaking the law, and then they get punished to a degree by getting sent back, and now we gotta no, man. Hell no.
It's only a matter of time before it ends up in our front door.
And Ellie, here's the whole deal. When these Republican governors like Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott sent migrants to Chicago and New York and D.C. and other places, it was all up to gin up unrest in black communities. Donald Trump talked about, they're taking the black jobs. And guess what? Silly black people fell for it. You got so-called activists running around in Chicago tearing down the mayors. The migrants are getting this, getting that. They don't even realize.
Well, Chicago stand on business. I'm not saying he was only talking about me, but I'm definitely included in the Chicago activist who's tearing down the. Oh yeah, that's okay. All right.
That what the Republicans are doing is they don't just want to close the border. They literally want to use this in order to engender black support, and they want to go after the civil rights laws and the protections to then go after the economic gains. This is not like, we're with them on closing the border. No. They don't just want to close the border. They want to shut down even the black folks who are here. So all you FBA, B1 folks and everyone, understand the game they're playing is way bigger than what y'all even think.
The fact that what amazes me is the fact that he's already been exposed to be a paid show. Now, we've known this for years. But he's been exposed to be a paid shill. We know that. And he speaks with such conviction. He speaks as if he is not biased. That is just so interesting to me. How he can speak as if he has not already been exposed, as if anything he says is like taken serious by anybody.
To then go after the economic gains. This is not like, we're with them on closing the border. No, they don't just want to close the border. They want to shut down even the black folks who are here. So all you FBA.
They want to shut down the black folks who are here. What does that mean? What does shut down the black folks who are here? What does that mean? Because when you are allowing immigrants to come over and you're putting them in community centers and you're putting them in hotels and cities are going bankrupt and black people are being attacked. What does that mean? Because the immigrants aren't doing anything. Let them tell it.
B1 folks and everyone understand The game they're playing is way bigger than what y'all even think.
Yeah, look, I obviously agree with Yannick. We have to care about immigration. We have to care about others. But if I'm being real, Roland,
I want you guys to look at this man. Y'all, can y'all look at this man real quick? Can y'all look at him? Now, I know when people get older, they get gray hairs and all that stuff. His hair is white, like super white. Now, you might think, okay, well, he might just be an older man with gray hairs or whatever. You don't see a stitch of black in his hair, so it's not like his hair is gray. Looking at his eyebrows are dark. He doesn't look that old to have all of these gray hairs. So it looks like this man dyed his afro white. Where does Roland get these people from? Why does everybody on his panel have weird haircuts and weird facial features and weird, like he gets very weird looking people on his thing. Now, I want y'all to listen to what this guy had to say. All right. Y'all listen, pay very close attention now. Pay very close attention. Listen to what he had to say.
I also care about me. And I also care about my rights to citizenship in this country. Now, I am an American-born citizen. I'm from Queens, right? And you can trace my people from my mother's side all the way back to a plantation in Georgia that was freed when Sherman marched through the South. So, like, I'm solid on that side of my family. My father is from Haiti, but I'm solid on that side of the family. But that doesn't...
You gotta laugh, y'all. Do you see how fast he did that? Did y'all see how fast he did that? He's like, okay, first off, I'm an American-born citizen. My mama's, she from Mississippi, and my great-grandmama, she from Mississippi, so I'm rooted here. Now, my dad's from Haitian, but I'm still rooted here. Like, you see how fast, do you see how fast he did? Oh, yeah, my mama's been here, and my great-grandmother's been here, and then they moved up here with the Great Migration and everything like that, and their foundation are back here. Now my dad's from Haiti. But anyway, do you see how fast he slipped in that, now, yeah, my dad's from Haiti. But anyway, he went, did y'all catch it? Let me play it back. I thought that I was rolling when he said that. I was rolling when he said that. He just admitted he's an anchor baby by definition. But the fact that he said it so fast that, I'm definitely from here. My dad's from Haiti. But anyway, that's funny. Y'all look
folks
at that.
who are here. So all you
Hold on.
then what?
to citizenship in this country. Now, I am an American-born citizen. I'm from Queens, right? And you can trace my people from my mother's side all the way back to a plantation in Georgia that was freed when Sherman marched through the South. So, like, I'm solid on that side of my family. My father is from Haiti, but I'm solid on that side of the family. But that doesn't mean that I'm protected.
Oh, he slipped that in real quick. He tried to slip that in real quick because he knew the background check was going to be coming. He knew the background check was going to be coming. So he tried to my dad's from Haiti. But anyway, no, we caught that. No, we caught it. We caught it. Oh, he tried to slip that in real quick. His dad from Haiti. Yeah. He went on a long thing talking about his mama. And then my dad, he Haitian. But anyway, you weren't quick enough. We caught that. Yeah, we caught that. Yeah, anchor baby. We caught it.
When you start coming for birthright citizenship, because black people especially, need to understand that our claim to be Americans is centered in the idea of birthright citizenship. That's not how they do it in the old world. That's not how they do it in Asia.
Our claim to be American is the fact that we are American and we built this country. Because here's why. Let me tell you something. Let's pause this for a second. Here's why Trump is not going to take away birthright citizenship. He's not going to do that. Okay. Do you know how many white people rely on birthright citizenship? Let's just pause that. Because the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment and everything, even though that was for us, you had a lot of white immigrants from Europe who came over here, and they also benefit. So we've been here longer than a majority of white people. In case y'all didn't know that, most white people in this land today, they came here after us. They came here with the migration thing. What is that thing that they came here with? The Homestead Act. That's what I meant to say. They came here, a lot of them came here with the Homestead Act and other government assistance programs because they needed a larger white population here. So a lot of us, we can trace our lineage way back farther than a lot of these Europeans can. So for you to end birthright citizenship and for you to say it don't apply to nobody, it don't apply, damn near nobody is a citizen in this country. So they not going to affect them. So no, this is not something that we should be afraid of at all. I want us to really understand we are so original. We are so ingrained in this country. We are more ingrained than a lot of people give us credit for. We are more ingrained than a lot of people want to recognize and a lot of people admit to. The fact that he's all like, yeah, I'm afraid because it's the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment says that anybody born in this country is a citizen. That's what the 14th Amendment said after the 13th Amendment outlawing, quote unquote, slavery. And then to say, okay, well, you might not be the slavery is ended, but that doesn't make you a citizen. And then the 14th Amendment came in and said, okay, yes, they are citizens. All right. And then there has been other court rulings that's, solidified that fact. And then you had a whole bunch of other people immigrate here. Majority of non-FBA people are immigrants here. And I'm even talking about the white ones. If you gonna get rid of that and we gotta go, then there ain't nobody gonna be in this country. And if we're gonna go back, like if we're gonna really, really go back, we can trace our lineage to natives here. So that means if we gotta go, there's nobody on this land. Everybody gotta go. There ain't no getting rid of us. Ain't all this fear of the birthright citizen that's coming from. No, it ain't. No, it's not. 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 He's scared because he's an anchor baby. Roland's scared because Roland is a tether. I don't know what the other dude is, most likely tethers. That's who Roland likes to roll with. No pun intended. Pun intended. But
Asia, in Europe, in Africa, even they go by what's called what the scholars will call jus sanguinis, which is Latin for rule of the blood. In other countries in the old world, your citizenship is conferred to you by your parents. It is something that is passed down to you by your parents. That's not how we do it in the New World. That's not how we do it in America or Canada or Mexico or all of South America or most of the islands, right? And the reason for that is slavery. The reason for that is because none of us here in the Americas are actually from here except for the Native Americans, right?
No. You see, he tried to slip that in. No. We from here. See, this is why it's very important that we sit up here and for the last few years, we have been making sure that we've cleared up all of the language that ties us in and makes us similar or comparative to immigrants. We are not sitting up here. We're not immigrants. We're not immigrants. Oh, well, none of us are from here. You've heard people say that a lot lately with the mass deportation thing. We're all illegal. We're all immigrants. None of us are really from here. No, we from here. How we not from the land that we built? I just don't understand that. Why does the rules of the world change for us and us alone? Because the way the world has always operated, if a group of people go to another place and develop a nation or a land, they are from that place that they developed. That is called ethnogenesis. They become a different ethnicity. If that is not the case, everybody in the world, every single man, woman, and child in the world would not have an ethnicity. Ethnicity would not exist. Ethnicity is a social construct based off the fact that people move to different places and develop different nations. So now they are from that nation. They have a different ethnicity. Okay. And well, within that nation, there's different ethnicities a lot of times, but most of the time, the ethnicity stems from the nation. The ethnicity stems from the nation. Otherwise, we'd all have the same ethnicity. You can go to another place and you can develop another ethnicity. We have a different ethnicity here. We have been here prior to America even becoming a country. America didn't become a country until 1776. We've been here as foundational Black Americans, even if they want to say it started and we were never here before, which is untrue. But even if they want to say it started in 1619, we were here a whole good century and then some prior to America even becoming a country. So if we were here building this country for a century, okay, over 100 years before America even became a country, how are we not from America? How are we not from America? Now, people be all like, no, the land belongs to Native Americans. We can trace our ancestry back. See, the thing is, when they try to do the whole Native American thing, they like to relegate all of the Native Americans to the 5 civilized tribes. And a lot of those tribes get, and I've discussed this on multiple different live streams, but a lot of those tribes get regrouped, separated, disbanded, and regrouped and put together, where you had the European oppressors. They categorize 5 civilized tribes. So this is why they all like, well, if you can't trace your lineage to this tribe, then you're not a Native American. And what those tribes have did, because they acquiesced and they conformed to the European powers, they got rid of all of the Black natives. They kicked a lot of the Black natives, all of the dark-skinned, woolly-haired Black natives out of their tribes, and they had all of the red, closer to European natives within the tribes. And then they married a lot of the Europeans in those tribes, and then they had these Native Americans, the people you call Native Americans today, a lot of them. And then you had a lot of Europeans signed to be on the census as Native Americans when the treaties and all of the benefits for Native Americans were coming there. So they would sign to get put on that, and then they would pay $5. And that's where the term $5 Indian came from. So a lot of these people that we are claiming Native American, they're actually not really Native American like that. Oh my God. Stuff keeps popping up on my computer, man. It's kind of like, it'd be throwing me off sometimes. It'd be throwing me off. But I was cooking. Let me get back to it. So this is why we have to understand our history. Let me get this off screen for a little bit, because I've really got to touch in with you guys. I really got to lock in with you guys. We have been here. We can trace our ancestry way back before, even to being native of this land. It is scientific proof. This isn't no conspiracy theory. This isn't no y'all just don't want to be African. This ain't this. There is scientific proof. People have dug up skeletons in this land. When scientists dig up a skeleton in this land, what they can do is they can determine, based off of the DNA and based off of the science of the skeleton, how old that person was when that person died, how long that person has been buried. They can determine the age of of the skeleton and everything. They can determine almost to a degree where that person comes from. They can determine a lot of different things. They can determine if it's a male or a female. They can even determine if the female had ever given birth. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that if they dig up a skeleton, y'all can look this up. This is how advanced the science has gotten. They can look up a skeleton, they can dig it up, and if it's a female, they can determine if that female has ever given birth before based off her skeleton. Because when a woman gets pregnant and her body changes and she gives birth, her skeleton changes to a degree. And they can actually determine that, especially depending on how old the skeleton is. So what they can also do is they can also, especially with the skull, they can use the like circumference and certain things like that, and they can measure the skull measurements, because we do, especially when you migrate to different places, and different places have different environments. The science goes deep. It goes very deep. When different people have different environments, sometimes, if you're closer to the hotter region, your skin and your body shape and your phenotype develops differently. This is why in Africa, all Africans don't look the same. Ethiopians don't look like South Africans. South Africans don't look like Nigerians. Nigerians don't look like Somalians. Somalians don't look like Moroccans. Moroccans don't look like Ghanaians. There's differences. Now there's similarities, but there's differences in the phenotype. All right. You got Jamaicans who don't look like Haiti. They in South America, but there's differences in the phenotype. You can use the measurements of the skull to determine. You can do a 3D printed image, and you can actually determine what that person would have looked like if that person was alive today. You can measure the nose, you can measure the face, the mouth, you can measure and determine what that person would have looked like. The scientists have determined that the oldest skeleton on this land, this goes back centuries before Columbus, but this goes centuries before Europeans came to the New World. This goes centuries before that, and they determined the oldest skeleton found on this land was black. This was a Negro person. This was a person of black, what you want to call African descent. This was a black individual on this land. So black people, and I know I explained this the long way, but black people have been on this land for the longest time. Black people have been all around the world. And it's very interesting, because when we acknowledge that black people are all around the world, people will be all like, yeah, except when it comes to America. America is the only place where we say, there were black people here before. People want to say, I don't really know about all that. If we say, there were black people in Asia. Oh, yeah, there were black people in Asia. There were black people in Europe. Yeah, there were black people in Europe. There were black people in America. I don't really know. I don't think there were black people in Europe. So, but they want to give it to who they consider to be the Native Americans, which a lot of them came after the black Native Americans were here, and they came from Asia. So that's why certain Native Americans have a different phenotype than other Native Americans, because you had black people, and black people, we naturally have darker skin. We naturally have thick and woolly hair. All right. And you have Asians who have brighter skin. A lot of them, they have a certain phenotype. Their hair texture is different. So they come after us, after we have already been here. They start mixing with a lot of people putting her name in the chat room. I forgot her name. Luzia, I believe her name is. So a lot of people, they start mixing, and now you have a new phenotype of people. So that's why you have a lot of Native Americans. If you look up pictures, let's look it up real quick. I didn't even plan on doing this, but I think we should do this. Let's look it up real quick. Old Native American pictures. When you look up these pictures, y'all, this is Google right here. Okay, this is not being selective with the pictures or whatever the case is. When you look at these pictures do look as if. I want you guys to hold on. Can I zoom it in? Can I make it bigger? When you look at this and you will see a lot of people in our family resemble this. This does not look like what the people who are claiming to be Native American today look like. The people who are claiming to be Native American today, they don't look like this. I want to show you other things, right? Other things. Now, when you look at certain phenotypes, now this woman, as you can see, her hair is different from the hair that Asians have, but her eye phenotype and everything has a more Asian-like phenotype. And I say that to say Asian-like, even though You can find this oftentimes in Africa, the slanted eyes, or what they call the almond eyes. You can find a lot of that in Africa today with no admixture. But I want you guys to see the tint of their skin. Look how dark, even if these are pictures, look at how dark. I'm trying to find a real picture here. Look at how dark their skin used to be. Hold on, because now actually let me go to hold on. Let me see. Let me actually go to images. Okay. Let me go and everything. Let me show you guys the oldest pictures that you find here. They don't look like the white Europeans here. When you go to these old pictures here, these people, and I want you to look at, oh, I did not mean to click it. Hold on. Come on, computer. Don't do that. Don't do that here. These people, even though they have different hair textures, I want you to see so you guys can have a visual of the admixture here. So you can have a visual of that. So these people are not who they're saying are not black. Look at how dark these skin tones is. This person's skin is darker than mine. Now, that's not who they claim to be Native American now. These people, a lot of these people look like our great grandmothers. A lot of these people look like our great aunties and uncles because a lot of these people were Native. And this now this is not to the broadcast is not about this, so let's not get too off into that. A lot of these people do, including my grandmother. She had facial hair and everything that not facial hair, excuse me, sorry, but she had hair that resembled Native Americans. A lot of these our older ancestors, they had hair that resembled that. And you would wonder, why do they have straight-ish hair? Why is their hair not as 4C or woolly as Africans tend to have their hair like? And that's because a lot of them had Native American hair texture because of the fact that they are part Native American. All right. So I can keep going down and keep scrolling down. There was a certain picture I'm specifically trying to look for. All right. Because he's standing right next to a black man, and I couldn't, you couldn't really tell which one was which, but we're going to continue with that. Okay. Did that the long way to explain the fact that we have been here. We definitely have been here. I didn't even mean to go into this whole spiel, but we definitely have been here. This is why our phenotype as foundational Black Americans don't really look like the phenotype of someone immigrating from Africa. Now, of course, we have European admixture as well, too, because of slavery, as you know. So we do have European admixture, but we have almost different DNA than people coming from Africa. And this is not to shame Africa. This is not to put any type of shade towards Africa or the Caribbean. This isn't to say they ugly or anything like that. This is to say we look different, because we do. All right. Now, going back to Roland Martin, he has this other clip up of, where is it? Okay. He has this clip up.
Between the ways that the laws are applied to the immigrant community and the Black community. I think the name that all of your viewers should look up is Peter Sean Brown. This is a Black man born in Pennsylvania, living in Florida, who himself was found in ICE custody. Why? Because of perception. Why? Because of the way that he looked. We have to understand that these laws are not going to be applied with any sort of logic. They are trying to dismantle a system that was already broken.
Now, he's being very disingenuous when he's talking about Peter Sean Brown. Peter Sean Brown, so you guys understand, Peter Sean Brown was an immigrant. Just because he was born in this country, plus he already had previous records. And there's a lot of funny little stories about Peter Sean Brown. And he was picked up because they did some type of mass ICE raid, and he was scooped up with everybody in the mass ICE raid because he was hanging around a lot of illegal immigrants, and he was just picked up with everybody. But what this guy is trying to do is he's trying to tell this story as if the average Black American can just be walking around, walking in the street, going, getting some groceries or whatever the case may be, and then they just get picked up and scooped up by ICE and thrown in the back of a truck. That's not how that's going to be. All right. So he's telling the story in a very disingenuous manner because he wants to push this narrative that we as foundational Black Americans should be afraid of mass deportation.
These laws are not going to be applied with any sort of logic. They are trying to dismantle a system that was already broken. Mr. Brown was in detention for weeks being deported to Jamaica, a country he had only seen.
Okay, and not him being deported for weeks or in detention for weeks. Some cases say he was in detention for 3 days, which ain't even 1 week. So you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of little details missing, but this man is embellishing the story because he's trying to fearmonger us.
On a cruise because of these same concepts that the Trump administration is now trying to push forward under these executive orders.
So you're saying, so I just want to be clear. So you're saying that if an ICE officer goes, hey, Roland Martin looks like he ain't from here.
The jokes write themselves. See, this is why Roland is really upset about this situation. Roland is really upset about this situation because he knows, like, hey, you know, my paperwork ain't really that good. You say so. He paused. He was like, "So you're saying an ICE agent can get me? He can look like I'm not from here. Look, that don't apply to me. I look like I'm from here. I'm cool. I'm straight. My family straight. My daddy family straight. My mama family straight. We straight." Roland is saying this because Roland is afraid. He say, like, so anybody can look like Roland. Roland look like he not from here. And don't say it in a context like you actually are from here, Roland. We know you're not from
these executive orders.
So you're saying, so I just want to be clear. So you're saying that if an ICE officer goes, hey, Roland Martin looks like he ain't from here. That's where the carrier paper's from. They are setting it up where they can detain anyone for any reason. So this is gonna be going back to South Africa where they had the passbook where I'm gonna have to prove my citizenship, right?
Listen, we've seen it already.
Man, ain't no. Don't do no. First off, listen, most FBA, especially when you're an adult, let's be honest. When you're an adult, most of us have some type of identification. Most of us, when we leave the house with some type of ID, some type of driver's license, something. You might not leave the house with your damn birth certificate. I don't think anybody does. I don't do that. You might not leave the house with that. But most of us as adults, you leave the house with some type of ID, some type of driver's license. You keep it in your wallet. The brothers keep it in their wallet. The sisters keep it in their purse. And they make sure they take it with them everywhere they go. Every time you leave the house, this is something you've seen your parents do. This is something you've seen your grandparents do. This is something most of us do. Now, do we walk around with our birth certificates in our back pocket? No, but we do walk around with some type of ID. Whether you driving or not driving, you got something. Even children who don't have, who are not like 18 plus or whatever the case is, a lot of them, they got school IDs. They got some type of school ID, even if they don't keep it with them all the time, which ICE ain't gonna go after the kids like that anyway. But we got IDs. He was like, oh yeah, you got to walk around with your papers. We gonna be okay. First off, they ain't even looking in our direction anyway. Second of all, if I have my ID, that means I have gone through the legal paperwork, because getting your ID, your driver's license and everything, you got to show two mail-in pieces, couldn't say that, pieces of paper to show where your address is. You got to show your mail here. You got to have one bill. Do y'all remember that? To get your driver's license and everything, you got to have a bill in your name. You got to got two different bills in your name. You got to have the water bill and the phone bill or something like that in your name. Then you got to have your birth certificate, and then you got to have your social security. You got to go through a lot. Now, I got my driver's license a very, very long time ago, but I remember when I got my driver's license, in order to get the permit and all that stuff, I had to go through all of these steps and stuff like that to prove I'm actually living in Illinois, and I got to prove that I'm living where I'm saying I'm living and all of this stuff. So for us to even have our IDs just prove that we are citizens here. The immigrants who have their little IDs, their driver's license and stuff, there's stuff that that indicates that they're not even from here on their driver's license. So the whole, we got to walk around with our papers like this is slavery and we got to walk around with freedmen papers. We don't got to do that. No, we are fine. Y'all with this false fear mongering stuff, we gonna be okay. We fine. We are fine.
Our communities are over policed. I lived in the Dominican Republic, one of the only other countries that has similar laws around birthright citizenship.
He lived in the Dominican Republic. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? I think he told on himself. I was wondering where he was from. I think he just told on himself. He lived in the Dominican Republic. Were you born in the Dominican Republic? I think that's what you meant to say. Yeah, he gonna say he lived there. Why did you live in the Dominican Republic, sir? Were you not born there? Were your parents not born there? Yeah, we caught you. See, we good at this. We be catching y'all. Y'all be slipping up. Y'all say something real quick. We catch it every time.
And there, anyone who was perceived as Haitian is regularly dealing with police harassment and having to show their papers. That is what Trump is trying to replicate in 2025.
No, we're not worried about that. We're not worried about that. We still got much to discuss. Brothers and sisters, let me give a shout out to the Cash App. Shout out to Pamela for the Cash App, and shout out to my brother Cyberdon, our beloved sister Pamela and brother Cyberdon. Then shout out to Lisa saying for the $5 super chat, saying we got paperwork. We do. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not worried at all. You not worried, Sister Lisa. Sister Stephanie's not worried. She's saying clearly Roland Martin is scared. Why you think his eyes are bucking? Oh, he's terrified. Oh, he's terrified. The fact that he was like, you mean me? So an ICE immigrant, man, he terrified. Oh, he's terrified. She sends a $10 super chat. Thank you so very much. But brothers and sisters, going back to it, ICE ain't playing no games. ICE is out here rounding folks up. ICE ain't playing no games with nobody. All right. Let me show y'all this. Right here.
Good morning, everyone.
It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got movement, target vehicle coming out.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Y'all, just imagine yelling out the window, I'm not going back to Haiti, in the back of an ICE van. Just these are the people in this country. This man is handcuffed and he's getting pushed in the back of the ICE van. I'm not going back to Haiti. Turns out he was wrong and he is going back to Haiti. Okay. But do y'all see, Lord, do y'all see the amount of crimes that these people are committing? So when the news is sent up there like, these are just little babies who want to come over and make a better life for themselves. Look at this. These are criminals. These are dangerous people who should not be here. These are menaces to society.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies.
You gotta pause it. Remember when we did the last live stream? Do you guys remember that? Do you remember when in Chicago City Hall they would come up there and be all like, the immigrants, they commit less crimes than the natives. They commit less crimes than the people here. We don't commit no crimes. These the same immigrants that at City Hall and all over the news say they commit less crimes than American citizens. I just want you to have the full perspective of that. These are the people who are saying, the people who are up here violating people, women, children, selling drugs, selling guns, committing violent acts against people, long rap sheets. These are the people who said they commit less crimes. Okay. All right.
And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
Now, this is something we said. We said if y'all would have cooperated, things would be a little bit smoother, even though they all need to go. But let's go to an interview with Tom Homan now.
With something that you said last night, that your deportation operation starts today. Did it?
Yeah, ISIS, they're out there enforcing law out today. And of course, as I've said numerous times, they're concentrating on public safety threats. That'll be our priority right out of the gate. So ICE officers are back to doing their job.
Where are these, are they actual raids? And how is it different from what we saw yesterday or the day before?
Well, look, I wouldn't call them raids or target enforcement operations. They know exactly who they're looking for. They know pretty much where they'll find them. So, again, these are well-planned operations. They're well investigated, so they got a lot of backup information when they go out there. A whole team goes out for officer safety concerns. So this happens throughout the nation. I mean, I'm not going to tell you specific locations out of officer safety concerns, but ICE is back doing their job effective today. They haven't been able to do it for years.
Well, I'm going to follow up on that in 1 second, but who is ICE going after right now? I know that you and others said several times that it is the people who pose the biggest public safety.
Can we get the Ice Cube emoji in the chat room? Ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, can we get the Ice Cube emoji in the chat room? Because this is something that's been built up for a long time, and this is something that has needed to happen for a very, very, very long time.
Threat to Americans who would be approached and deported first. Is that still the case?
Yes, people in the country illegally, they have a criminal conviction that makes them a public safety threat. That's our priority.
How are you finding them?
Again, these ICE officers across the country have a non-detained docket. They know who these people are. When they don't show up in court, they fail to leave as ordered by an immigration judge, or they have, NCIC information on someone who was arrested for a violent crime here that's in the country illegally. They take those leads, they do investigative work, and through that work, try to find out where these people may be located, and that's the whole investigative piece they do before they go out and actually make an arrest.
And so what is happening as we speak is limited to those with criminal records?
That's the target of this operation, but like I said many times, in places like sanctuary cities where we can't arrest a bad person in the jail, we would like to have access to the jail to arrest a criminal alien in the safety and security of a county jail, which is safer for the community, safer for the officers, and safer for the alien. But when you release a public safety threat out of a sanctuary jail and won't give us access to them, that means we got to go to the neighborhood and find them. and we will find him. But when we find him, he may be with others. Others that don't have a criminal conviction but are in the country illegally, they will be arrested too, because we're not going to strike. And this is the difference between the last administration and this administration. ICE is going to enforce the immigration law. There's nothing in the INA, the Immigration Nationality Act, says you got to be convicted of a serious crime in order to be removed from this country. So there's going to be more collateral arrests in sanctuary cities because they forced us to go in the community and find the guy we're looking for.
Let me just.
And this is exactly what we've been saying, even though they all need to go. See, these people don't really have foresight. These people are really not that smart. These people really are not that great at planning. We said, if you guys house them and they come and get them and you don't let them go, then that means they're coming to get them and they're just going to get everybody while they're there. For instance, let's use this analogy. All right. Let's say there's a gang and there's somebody that the police are looking for. And that person that the police are looking for, he goes back to the hideout. And the gang members, they'll say, hey, you can't stay here because people are looking for you and you're making the block hot right now. So you're going to get all of us wrapped up, because it's not like if they catch us, they're going to let us go because they wasn't looking for us. You making a block hot right now, so you need to go. This is how it works. But this is the same logic. If you allow the criminals, you allow them, the people who've committed violent, horrific acts to be housed, then when ICE comes to pick you up, ICE gonna be like, all right, might as well get you and you and you and you and him and her and him and her and give me the babies. Let me get the baby. Ain't no more anchor babies. Trump just said that. So that's what they doing now. So what they don't know is that they just cut their nose to spite their face, and it's not stopping anything, because what's going to happen is they're going to say, well, we're not going to work with ICE. Okay, so now ICE is going to come in and they're going to do things the hard way, which means they're going to get more people. What he just said, collateral. Even though they need to be getting them anyway, what they're doing is they're going to be deporting a lot more of them. So instead of just getting the criminals in one wave, they're just getting all of the people they can get. So this is the problem that they've set up for themselves. But look, I'm glad it turned out this way, because they all need to go anyway. They all need to leave. Let's go back to what Tom is saying.
Make sure that I understand what you're saying, because at first you said that the first targets are those with criminal records, but you are also saying that those who are undocumented in the U.S., also who don't have criminal records, people who are working in their communities, maybe even have spouses who are American citizens, they could be swept up with ICE today as well?
What I'm telling you is, when we go find our priority target, which is a criminal alien, if he's with others in the United States illegally, we're going to take enforcement action against him. We're going to enforce the immigration law.
What happens then? So the ICE officers gets an individual or a set of individuals and apprehends them. What next?
I'm going to show you what happens next. We're going to play this next clip.
Trump has promised to deport millions of immigrants to their...
She kind of asking dumb questions a little bit. I mean, she was asking kind of... I just want you to hear what he had to say about it, but Lord have mercy. She's... Okay, anyway.
President Trump has promised to deport millions of immigrants to their home countries. And today, the Department of Homeland Security announced it is widening the net. A new policy gives ICE agents the green light to conduct enforcement operations in schools, churches, playgrounds, and daycare centers. Those locations used to be off limits. Now, ICE can look for people in those places to deport. The mayor of Denver telling Top Story last night, those sensitive areas are a big concern for his city.
Churches, schools, hospitals, they've long been no-go locations for ICE, because to run a safe city, we have to have a hospital everyone can go to if they're in an emergency without worrying about getting deported. We have to have kids be able to go to school without worrying about their status or their parents' status. And we're worried about these protected populations.
Last week, NBC News got an up-close view of what a typical deportation flight looks like, and a step-by-step description of the entire journey from ICE officials who explained the complicated and expensive process. First, it starts with an arrest by ICE agents. Then, immigrants are taken to be detained at more than 100 local ICE facilities. From there, they may have a chance to go before a judge and plead their case. Typically, this process has taken weeks if it's fast-tracked, or if not, it has even taken years. If a judge agrees that the person should be deported, ICE will fly them to one of 4 staging areas in San Antonio, Alexandria, Louisiana, Mesa, Arizona, or Harlingen, Texas, where we went and saw migrants on their way from detention to the tarmac.
ICE has about 10 planes just like this that they can use to deport migrants.
This is the end of the journey for them.
Miguel Vergara is one of the field office directors for ICE.
Every individual that we boarded in the plane had their day before an immigration judge. Their case was heard, they had their due process. Every possible remedy that could have been applied or it was exhausted. And it was determined by an immigration judge that they don't have a right to remain in the United States, and that's why they're here today.
Parents who have had children in the United States will have to decide if their children are deported with them or left behind. Although it looks like any other commercial plane, migrants are only allowed to bring 1 bag of belongings weighing 40 pounds or less. There are between 15 to 20 guards on board, and everyone is shackled, except for children and parents traveling with kids.
In the last year, ICE was able to remove over 270,000 migrants, many of those on planes just like this. But if the Trump administration wants to deport more migrants, they're going to have to spend more money, not just on planes like these, but on the pilots, the staff, and the detention space to hold migrants before they board these planes.
Now, notice, and this comes from MSNBC, so notice the little twist. I mean, he's going to have to spend so much more money. He's going to have to spend, listen, we're not going to play that game. We're not going to play that game. Biden was going around, he was spending money. He spent billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine. I'm talking about this man was just spending money like he just, he had a bottomless pit of money. Democrats spend money like they got a bottomless pit of money. Y'all was coming over here. Cities have gone bankrupt. Y'all was giving them food stamps, putting them in hotels and all that stuff. Hey, that stuff got to stop. So, and all of this, oh no, it's going to be too much. It's going to be too expensive. No, it's not. Because not only are we keeping them out, not only are we getting them out, we also keeping them from coming in. Look at this. This lady is out here boo-hoo crying because there was an app that Joe Biden established that they could sign up for, and they could be on some type of waiting list to enter into the country. And the second Trump got in office, Trump closed this app down. And she out here, I'm talking about, I want you to see it. She is crying like a family member just died. Talking about no, it's a bad day. And everybody all like, oh my God, we need to help them. We need to help them. No, we don't need to help them. Why don't you take all of this energy and passion? Why don't you take that and then take that to your own country? Take that to your country. And fix your country, fix your homeland. We don't wish harm for you, but we're not going to sit up here and help you finesse the system. No, we're not going to do that. ICE is coming. ICE is coming. Let me show y'all this. ICE is already in Chicago putting in a whole bunch of work. Look at this, y'all. Where is it at? Here it is. ICE is in Chicago putting that work in. Hold on. Up. This is the apartment. Yep. Uh-oh.
Aquí al lado de mi casa, señores. De migración.
They up in there grabbing folk, snatching folk up. You see what I do? I didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Where you taking me?
Aquí al lado de mi casa, señores.
But I want y'all to keep this in mind. These are the same people who will tell us that we don't deserve reparations, and that reparations is a handout, and that reparations is something that they deserve and we don't deserve. So we gonna take the cape off for them, and we gonna sit up there, and all of the black folk, because there are some, look at this, who out here caping for them. We gonna stop this too. Look at this.
Hey, I'm worried about you, fam. You looking back at me. There's a lot of stuff happening in this country right now. And our community is exposed. The black community is always exposed because of these margins and these intersections. And many people think that these ICE raids are only going to affect communities of Latin descent. Well, first of all, Afro-Latinas exist, and we're not going to erase any of our people. But black shows up around this globe, and we have got undocumented people in our communities right now, and they've always been there. And we're protecting black. So there are a couple of things that we need to always be mindful of in case ICE raids our neighborhoods.
Okay. Speaking a lot of French, saying a lot of we. I don't speak French. I don't really know we like that. I really don't. All right. Here's my thing. Let's be real. Are there Afro-Latinos? Yes, there are Afro-Latinos. Are they FBA? No, they are not FBA. Are they here legally? The ones who are here illegally need to go. That's just what that is. The ones who are here illegally need to go. The whole thing of ISIS, this is going to affect the black community because we're not getting rid of the Afro-Latinos. First off, most of the people coming over here ain't no Afro-Latinos anyway. Let's be honest. And you're not going to cherry pick the few Afro-Latinos. And I'm going to be honest, no. They get to go back home. They get to go home. Even if they're Afro-Latinos. You saw that brother over there. That's a dark-skinned Haitian brother. He got to go. He got to go. We not doing that thing. See, that's that little Pan-African thing where we got to sit up here and defend illegal aliens who are coming over here because of their racial classification. No, they got to go. They definitely got to go. All of them got to go.
The first thing, you don't have to tell them shit. You have the right to remain silent. Whether you are a citizen or a non-citizen and you come in contact with ICE, you have the right to remain silent. Do not incriminate yourself. Don't start talking. Shut up. Shut up. Keep your ears open and listen. They cannot bust into your home. I know it's been done, but they're not supposed to. And if you don't know that, you might let them get away with it. Don't let them get away with it. They cannot search your person, your vehicle, or your home without a warrant. They have to tell you exactly who they're looking for. Remember those two things. I'm going to post some other rights at the end.
Okay, so look at them out here trying to give help and aid and trying to give little tips to avoid ICE and all that stuff. Ain't none of that stuff going to work. Because what you're actually doing is you're trying to give advice on how to harbor a fugitive. If you know where they are, that not necessarily you don't have to say anything. But if ICE is looking for an illegal alien in your establishment, in your apartment, in your vicinity, and you are holding them and you're hiding them away from ICE, then you can be charged with harboring a fugitive. And should foundational Black Americans be charged with harboring fugitives? No, we should not.
End of this, so you can save it and share it. Think about these things now, because if it happens, it's real scary and you might mess up. And that can mean the difference between you getting hauled off by ICE or you staying home, because even if you're an American citizen, they'll haul your ass off first.
Where are we going? Oh, listen. Where would we go? Where would we be deported to? You think we're gonna go to an immigration judge? And I showed you the process of deportation first before I showed you this lady. And I want you guys to understand, all of the people who are trying to fearmonger you with the little details that you think you might not know, or they think you might not know, and they'll say things like, well, what they're trying to do is they're trying to say that a citizen, a United States citizen, ICE can pick you up. If ICE picks you up, they don't just pick you up and then drive you to Mexico. They got to pick you up, and then you got to go see an immigration judge, and they got to hear your case. And the immigration judge will rule whether you are here to stay, whether you can stay, or whether you got to go back and be deported. Do you think if you got picked up by ICE, let's say by mistake, and you go to an immigration judge and you say, I am not an immigrant, I am a foundational Black American, I can trace my family all the way back hundreds and hundreds of years into this country, do you think you're still going to be deported? There are steps so they make sure they don't deport actual citizens. With the steps of going to the judge, first off, ICE ain't looking for you. All it is, ICE is going to get everybody. ICE ain't looking for you. But if ICE picks you up and you go to a judge and you say, no, I'm a citizen, and the judge be all like, all right, let him go, you going to go. All of these steps are there to make sure that citizens don't get deported mistakenly. And these people are trying to fearmonger you into making it seem as if you can mistakenly get deported. That's not going to happen.
And then they'll double check once they have you. Did you hear me? Overarchingly, our community, we don't talk to ICE. Not at all. Do not say a fucking word to them. You don't point them in the right direction or the wrong direction. You don't initiate contact with them or conversation with them at all. If you live in an apartment complex.
No, we're going to say a lot. I'm going to say a lot.
You see ICE at the gate and you know the gate code, you walk right by that gate. But don't you open that gate. We don't let them in. We don't talk to them, and we don't let them in. They're worse than fucking cops. And they're just as deadly to Black lives. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna
Can we get some more ice cubes in the chat room? Can we get some more ice cubes in the chat room?
over the next couple of days. But we're gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be really all right. We gonna be all right. She ain't lying about that. Everything else she lying about, but she ain't lying about that. We gonna be all right. Okay, I'm gonna start playing the Kendrick Lamar song. We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. All right. But a lot of people panicking. A lot of people are panicking. Look at this. Share my screen with y'all. This comes straight from TikTok. People scared. Come on now, play.
Into my camera, I have this little camera where you can see who's like knocking at your door. You're not gonna believe this. So basically, I see a cop with the badge like knocking on the door, like really, really rough. And I'm like, what the fuck is a cop doing outside my house? I haven't done anything. So I was actually working because I do work from home, and I was like speaking with a client, and I had to say, hey, give me a second. I need someone's on my door. I go and open the door, and I was like scared shitless. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? And he basically tells me that he's looking for someone. He was wearing a little jacket, and I was trying to figure out if it was like ICE or something because I am in Florida. And he tells me the person's name. So I'm like, no, there's nobody by that name that lives here. And he's like, okay, well, I gotta go. So then I'm very nosy and I'm like, wait, what? Give me a second. Like, what? Like, does it show that this person lives in my home? He's like, well, they might have lived here, so we're looking for them. Mind you, it was a Hispanic name. I live in a very Hispanic area. This is what's going on right now. Like, they're literally going knocking on doors and looking for people.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's this. They looking for people, he says.
And I will not let you destroy my world.
They looking for people. Oh my goodness. It's serious. It's serious out here. It's serious out here. Let me show y'all something else because there's still more stuff. Let me show y'all some other things. Look at this. And this is one thing I don't like when I see stuff like this. Like the black people who are like, oh, my heart goes out to them. I don't like that. We're going to stop that.
Man, this just, I feel so conflicted about this mass deportation thing. Like really conflicted, right? My conflict is that as a black woman, nobody else's struggle is my struggle because black women have to always look out for themselves, and we don't get the support that we need, you know what I'm saying? And so this year we've all decided to really take a step back from everybody else's problems and focus on ourselves because we didn't ask for this, right? On a high level, black women did not ask for this.
Okay, so just to start off, so she already starting off on this gender division thing. She's already starting off on that. Black women didn't, and black women got to defend ourselves, and black women this and black women that. So she's already starting off defending herself. I mean, separating herself.
On a human level, the idea of seeing people get everything that they've built and worked hard for taken from them. And you got to understand my understanding was the laws that they passed meant that they could just off of assumptions, off of assuming that you committed a crime. You don't even have to have committed one, right? Lock you up and make you wait until they can prove that you are who you are. Like it's kind of like that when oh my goodness, I forget what that law was where they could just lock you up based on suspicion in New York or whatever. It's like that, okay? And that kind of protocol is very scary, okay? It's an easy way to claim that someone's guilty just based off of assumption and then make them fight for their innocence while you strip them of their rights, right? And I don't have an issue with like the Hispanic community. You know what I'm saying? I like to go to El Mesquite because you get the best prices on meat there. You know what I'm saying? Even if most of them there speak in Spanish, they'll still be able to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? To sell you a product, you know, that's necessary. The 24-hour laundromat that I like to come to is ran by Hispanic people, right? And they speak Spanish too. You know what I'm saying? Like they're a working, viable part of the community.
Now, here's my thing.
And the attack on them just seems so unjustified. Like just
okay, we're gonna stop.
Unjustified.
We're gonna stop. We're gonna.
You
stop
know what I'm
right
saying?
here. Here's my thing. Here's my thing.
As a human,
this ain't about disliking Hispanics. This is not about that. I hope you guys understand that we're not doing this because we dislike anybody. We are doing this because we are people who stand on principle. We are people who stand on a certain standard. There is a certain standard to become a citizen in this country, or at least there should be. And we need to go to that. There is a certain principle that we need to stand on this country. There are certain laws that we need to stand on. It don't matter about liking or disliking people. We're not talking about mass deportation because we personally dislike them. She's sitting up there making it seem like what is happening to these illegals is morally wrong because she personally likes to patriotize their businesses, which is what a lot of these people who are sitting up there acting as if, oh my God, it's so bad, it's so bad. No, you personally might like a couple of them, and I'm gonna be honest with you, some of them cool. That don't mean they get to be here. No, this is about principle. Our feelings are disconnected from this situation. Our feelings are disconnected from the subject. Our feelings about I like you, it doesn't matter. It matters if you are supposed to be here or if you are not supposed to be here. If you are not supposed to be here, you're just not supposed to be here. We can't move the goalpost depending on if we like you or don't like you. Well, if we don't like this person, then they got to be deported because they're not supposed to be here. But if we do like this person, then they get to stay even though they're not supposed to be here. It has to be a universal standard that stays stagnant, that does not move. I've been talking about that the last few weeks, about standards being the same, standards not moving, standards being stagnant. I've been saying that for the last couple weeks. So there's Hispanic restaurants and there's Hispanic grocery stores and laundromats. You might like them. What you should be as a black person, what we should be thinking about as FBA, we should be thinking like this. Here's how I'm thinking. If there's a 24-hour laundromat that gets a lot of business and people who operate that are illegal aliens, when they go, there's still a demand for the 24-hour business. Now, you can say it's selfish. I don't care personally if you think that. This is how I'm thinking, because I'm thinking in our best interest. If there's a laundromat that's 24 hours and the people who run it get deported, there's still a need in the community for a 24-hour laundromat. So that's where we come in and we fill that need. You understand where I'm coming from? If there are people who are having jobs, like they were talking about black jobs, if there are people who are coming in and they're taking jobs and then they leave, the demand for those jobs still exists. So now we get to come in and fill that gap for that demand. So this is only going to be good for us. If there are certain businesses or certain grocery stores, a meat market or whatever the case, that, and clearly if it's in the community and it's getting business, that means that there's clearly a demand for it. And if there's a demand for it and it's in a location and it's getting business, all right, there are people supplying that demand. If the illegal aliens were the ones supplying that demand and they're gone, then guess who the new supplier is going to be? Me, you. We're gonna be the new suppliers. That's how I'm looking at everything. That y'all be watching those like criminal gangster shows and everything like that, where people be all like, "This is my block, and I want to take over this turf." Hey, that's how we got to look at that. We got to kind of get into our gangster mode. We got to get into that, like our brother Torian would say. We got to embrace villainy here. All right. If that's your turf, if you off that turf, that's my turf. We got to start looking at everything like that. This is our opportunity to expand our territory. That's how I'm looking at this situation. If you had a store that was doing well and people like to eat your food after work, or if you had a diner or something like that and people like to come in after a party or whatever the case is, and you out of there, people still gonna need food. That's me. I got that. You literally just created a demand and then a supplier left. I'm the new supplier now, baby. I got that. We gonna be good. I want y'all to understand this mass deportation thing is gonna be so good for us. Oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be phenomenal. Let me get to some of the super chats because I want to get y'all calls. I want to see what y'all got to say about this situation. Hurricane says, as I said before, all them hoes gotta go. That's why that's what they get for being so entitled. Yeah, that's true. That is what they get. They all gotta go. Our brother DSB says, Salam Afro Elite, my warrior brother. To you, thank you very much, brother, and I appreciate your super chat. And then our brother Hurricane just says, first is gender wars, then it's something personal. In her case, cheap food. Yeah, that's true. Then the moral shaming. This pattern of raccooning is old and tired. It is, because you're trying to make it seem as if you're trying to protect them for something other than yourself. You're trying to protect them because you think that them being around is a benefit to you, even though it's a detriment to the community. It's a personal benefit to you, so you want them around. But we don't operate like that. We can make tacos, as a matter of fact, and I want to know y'all opinion. I think foundational Black Americans make better tacos. If that might be my opinion, I don't know. But if you guys think that foundational Black Americans make better tacos than Mexicans and all of these illegals, put the taco emoji in the chat room. Because just because they leave don't mean I like tacos. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's some Mexican food I can get with. I like tacos. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do. But I think we can do it better than them. They got a taco truck. Okay, the owner of the taco truck not there no more. That means we can't eat tacos? No. We can get a license. They really don't even have licenses like that. If we're gonna be for real about it, we got this better than they get this. We are the new suppliers of the demand that fortunately they have been allowed to create. They've been allowed to create. We got this. But let me get this off the screen. Let me get this off the screen. And start this program. Now, I'm going to warn every single last one of y'all. Okay, we are not doing none of that trolling or anything. I do not want any of y'all to come up here saying anything hateful. We do not condone hate speech. We do not condone violence. Okay, we just condone law and order and what is in the best interest of the community. That is it. That is all. So when I open this up, I don't want people to saying, yeah, man, we should all go hunt them down. I don't want nobody saying that. I don't want nobody saying no crazy slurs or nothing crazy like that. Don't want people saying that. Okay. So let rules be known. When you call in, you can hear. All right. So you can hear when you call in. So you can stay on the phone and listen in. Please, if you're on a Bluetooth or a speaker, you know what I'm saying? Don't call in on that, because I don't want it to be where you can't be heard or whatever the case is and all that. Let's not do that. Let's call in so everybody can hear. All right. So the call line, let me see, is right here. The number is 949 381 0044. That is 949 381 0044. And I want you guys to call in, and I want to get your guys' opinion on if you think the mass deportation, all of the ICE raids, and the update to the birthright citizenship, because we're not going to say it's ended because it hasn't been ended, but we're going to say the update to the birthright citizenship. Do you all think that is a good idea? Do you all think that this is something that will benefit foundational Black Americans? I want to know your opinion. So we're going to get started. We have our first caller. So we're going to get to our first caller right here. All right. Caller from area code 202. Caller from area code 202, you're on live. What is your name and where you calling from?
This is Gene from DC. How you doing, brother?
Gene, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing good. And I also want to say this. In the words of our brother Jason Black, this ICE raid is good. Real good. This is not being hateful in any kind of way. This is just being true to myself and my community. And the overall thing is I cannot love another community more than I love my own. For me, standing on business for mine, it's it's not the equivalence of hating you. It's me respecting me and mine.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's one. The young lady who came, the first young lady who came up here and was given legal advice, who all of a sudden was a TikTok or YouTube attorney giving legal advice about what ICE agents do. If they were wise, they would not follow what you just told them, because one way or another, we're still going to catch you, we're still going to detain you, and we're still going to place you behind bars, and you still have a court date. And it may take some time. She's right about that part. It may take some time. But what are you going to do to try to fight it? It will be very asinine of you to keep trying to evade, because once we catch you, it gets even worse. That thing Trump stated some time back when he said, I don't know if everyone paid attention to it, but the first time he said, you get caught the first time, you get sent back, you can't come back for 10 years. He said the second time you get banned for 20 years. The third time is the death penalty. He was not playing. He was not playing. So do not listen to these YouTube and TikTok attorneys. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they got their degrees from video.
Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And you know what? That's very true. And we have some more callers, but that is very, very true. Because here's the thing. These people are so afraid they don't want to leave the house. There's people who are not showing up to work anymore because they fear ICE raids. So you holding them in, how long do you think that that's going to work? You're prolonging the inevitable. They gotta go, and they are going to leave. Now, you can prolong it by not cooperating with ICE, but if you think ICE is going to be all like, yeah, we know there's an illegal immigrant in here, all we need to do is get a warrant. You have the president of the United States have signed an executive order for us to get them. It's not going to take them any more than 20 minutes for a judge to sign a warrant for them to go in the house. Now, you thinking you not saying anything is going to protect them. If they show up to the door and knock and say, we have a warrant, let us in, what are you going to do? These people are coming to these places because they have evidence. There's a hotline or something. They're going to get the warrant. They're going to get all that stuff. And what you're trying to do, and which is why we should not listen to these people, because what they're going to do is they're going to be like, sir, ma'am, you were not cooperating. You lied, and you are harboring a fugitive. So that is a crime according to federal law. So now you got a felony on your record. You gonna have a felony and they gonna get deported anyway. Why would you even do that? Even if you don't want them to leave. Even if you don't want them to leave. Let me get to the next caller. Caller from area code 951. You are on live. What is your name and where are you from?
Oh, hello. I'm Tamat and I'm from Riverside, California. And I just want to say blessings to the collective, blessings to you for looking out for FBA, which are the indigenous class. We are multidimensional beings, and we see things from different vantage points. And I know that we're all phenomenal and divine. Be aware and stay grounded, because a lot of the Hispanics are going on social media and saying that we started the fighters. So all the energy that's going from the Caucasian class and placed upon them, it's like they have a filter on their consciousness and they're deflecting it because they love their father and they're displacing it on us. So women, children, men, guard your soul, stay grounded, absorb as many photon light rays, because the light from within is the only thing that will furrow your tree. They said our hair was nappy. I know y'all hear it and you feel it. The melanin is hitting different. We are $450 a gram. Do not sell out. Stay rooted and grounded in your truth, for it is the ground in which we manifest. And brother was telling the truth. All the light codes and downloads that we are getting, hold those precious inventions, because the soul is cleansing a declining population and we are multiplying the salt of the earth. And you know it's true. It is, I say. So I'm just let it go. I just want to say I love y'all. I love you, bro. I'll be rooting for you and I'm with you, and I'm going to shut up. I'm going to get going.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Shout out to the Cali family. I know y'all going through it right now, but shout out to y'all. We looking out for y'all. We're going to get to the next caller. Caller from 708. You are on live. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
How you doing, brother? This is Brother 10 Speed from Chicago's West Side. I'm calling because the thing about it is I've been in my place since I was born, 56 years. I look across the street. What do I see? Migrants in an apartment building. Now, a family I knew since the early 70s owned that building. They sold that building. But what happened is we got some of these Mexican drug lords that was actually buying these buildings, putting these migrants in these buildings. One of the guys on my block, they actually sell dope. Said, man, the Mexican guy told me he get $4,000 for each person that goes up in his place. So we want to also report on those dealers who are buying property in the black community in Chicago and putting these people up in here. So my question is, because I really don't know, and I'm one of those brothers that actually flip red. How do we find out if we can actually contact ICE and make sure that they come to like certain, let's say we know these people are in a certain apartment building and this is where they're standing at and everything too. How do we, I don't know, but I'm asking, maybe we can do the research. How do we call ICE and report a certain address where we know they are housing these people?
There's numbers. Our sister Nisi's been putting it in the chat room. There's a whole bunch of numbers.
Okay.
There's hotline numbers. What I would do, okay,
yes,
is make sure that you have some type of if you can, because you know they trying to avoid us. But like if they coming in and walking in or whatever, record them. Be look in your window. You have some type of record evidence or anything like that. Be as specific as possible and be all like ICE. They come in. It's 3 grown men. It's 2 women. It's no children. They come in at this time. They leave at this time. They have this vehicle. Give as many details as possible. Take pictures. Take photos or anything, because if they come knocking on the door and they come looking for somebody and they be all like, I don't want to talk to you, your evidence that you can provide them can be used so they can get a warrant to go into the building. So you always want to have as much evidence as possible, and you can call that hotline.
That's good information, brother, because like I said, I'm 56 years old. I was born in this house. All the places my friends used to live, now these people have actually bought some of these buildings because most of these people lost their building because maybe the matron had passed off or something like that. And then, you know, you had the Mexicans where they came and they bought the property, but they were actually renting, leasing them or getting money from the state to put these people up in these places right here. So I had to look out the window since I was like 3-4 years old. At the now I'm 56 years old. And thank God we were able to maintain my grandmother's legacy. And we watching this stuff all the time. And then you just gave some great information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread this information out along with, you know, sharing the page also too. But I just want to find out. I'm let all my guys know, listen, we can help out. Because my thing is I'm trying to find out how can I help ICE as best as possible and to just spread the word. And you just gave some great information, brother. So I'm going to let you go, man. I like to say, man, FBI all the way from the west side of Chicago, awesome community, and bless you, brother. We flipping red. It's not about flipping red. It's all about people out of our neighborhood. Bless you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
Oh yeah, get as much evidence as you can, as much evidence as possible. Let's get to the next caller. Caller from area code 615. You are on live. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Angelica Elena. I'm calling from Nashville, Tennessee. How are you?
I'm good, sister. How you feeling?
I'm well. So
Angelica?
yes, I wanted to
No, I was about to say, what's on your mind?
Oh, I was gonna say, so I see the thing with Trump did the executive order barring birthright citizenship, but I'm trying to figure out if I read some things and I'm trying to figure out it's questionable how much that's gonna hold, because it may just be unconstitutional. I don't know. I think they may take it to the Supreme Court and let them figure it out. And I know that they have the conservatives have a 6-3 majority, but I don't know how they're going to rule all that. I feel like it's questionable with that birthright citizenship. I think it's great. I think it's great that he did that. I just question if it's really going to be able, what can he possibly do if that's going to work for it? That's an amendment to the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems good on paper, but I just don't know if it's going to hold.
You know,
mm-hmm.
You know, that is something that a lot of people have thought about, and I've thought about too, because that does kind of go against the 14th Amendment, which is pretty clear. The 14th Amendment is pretty clear about it. It's not like, you know, the 14th Amendment is not really vague. So for him to say that we got to end this loophole so we can go against it, it is, you know, it is precedent that it is unconstitutional. A lot of legal experts have said that. So it is a chance that it can go to the Supreme Court and be ruled unconstitutional.
Right. That's what I was thinking about that. So I don't know, I don't know. It's questionable. I think it's great, but I think it's more symbolic than anything. And one last thing that I'll say is, we're protected. Like that one chick that was on that one video that was talking about, I don't know if it was a video or a tweet. I can't even remember now. Now I'm kind of blanking out whether it was a tweet or a video, but talking about, no, I think it was a tweet talking about, oh, you guys are going to be affected by that too. No, we're covered by birthright citizenship for generations.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're good. We're good on that for generations. And I'll just leave it there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
now,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. That tweet right there. I'm looking at my screen. Yes, sir. That right there.
Yeah, the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
the second one.
Black people, it relates to us, the birthright citizenship, and we saying we minding our business, but they coming for our citizenship too. No, they cannot come for our citizenship. That's why I had to go back. Our citizenship is too deep in this country for them to come to it, for them to even challenge our citizenship. It's too ingrained in this country for us to even be challenged. ICE is not on their way to get us. They are not coming to get us at all.
Exactly. That's right. And I'll leave it there. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in. But yeah,
okay,
as far
bye.
as the birthright citizenship thing, appreciate you, sister. Appreciate you. Yeah, but as far as the birthright citizenship thing, yeah, it can be challenged. Let's be realistic. It can be. However, I almost want to say he knew it could get challenged or even struck down, but by the time it gets struck down, it will have had its intended effect. I think he understands that this is going to be a temporary executive order, but he's doing this because he understands that it will have a impact before it gets struck down. So even if it gets overturned, the damage is kind of already done at that point. So maybe that's how he's thinking with the situation. Let's get to the next caller. Caller from area code 704. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Shannon. I'm calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
What's on your mind, sister?
Thank you so much for having me. It is such a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate you calling in.
I just want to kind of just reply to what you were saying about them ending birthright. I don't really think it's going to affect us because all of the people who it was intended for back in that time frame are already here. We're already citizens for generations and generations.
Mm-hmm.
And also, too, like, anyone is trying to contest it, like, they're just trying to drag us into the argument. But it's not our fight, like everybody's saying, so I agree.
Yeah. We've been here for way too long. And then, which is why in the very beginning, I showed you guys the executive order. Trump is not trying to end birthright citizenship. That's what a lot of the headlines are saying. But this is really kind of like an amendment to it. This is kind of like an update to birthright citizenship to close the legal loophole that has been exploited for a long time. This does not end birthright citizenship. He is saying you don't have birthright citizenship if your mother is illegal and if your dad is illegal. That don't apply to us. How does that apply to us? No. So you're absolutely right. That don't apply to us at all.
And also the other thing that I want to say, people want to talk about Donald Trump, right? But at the same time, my family is from North Carolina. My daddy is a Lumbee Indian. And Donald Trump just announced today that he is finally recognizing our tribe here in North Carolina. So big up to him for that. And I ain't see Biden or nobody else trying to do that for us.
That's good. Yeah, Biden didn't do nothing. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of these executive orders that Trump signed, they're gonna be more beneficial than Biden's entire term. We are straight. The way things are going, we're gonna be okay. Everybody is trying to do this fear monger thing, and the reason why they're trying to do that is because what they want us to do is they want foundational Black Americans to get on board against Trump and the GOP. So that means the next election, that means they're going to start building this hate up. In the next election, they can have the Black votes that they were missing this time. They understand that the reason why Kamala lost is because they were missing a lot of Black votes. A lot of Black people voted for the couch. They need Black people to get up off that couch and to vote for the Democrats. So what they're going to do for the next 4 years is they're going to be like, oh my God, this is affecting Black people. And oh my God, this is bad for Black people. And oh my God, look at what Trump is doing. And you think it's hurting them, but it's really hurting Black people. And even though they can't explain how it's hurting Black people, they want you to think that the things that are not hurting you are hurting you because they want us to get up off the couch. And that's not going to happen. But thank you, sister. I appreciate your call. Get to some of the other
Thank you
callers.
so much. You take care and big ups to you, sir. Love
Thank you. Thank you. Caller from area code 267. You're on live. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, my name is Curtis. FOD. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Curtis. What's on your mind?
Yeah. I'm from Philly. I just want to say, real quick. I'm 64 years old. I'm old here, right? And my entire life, have any FBA went to City Hall or swear in? I never swear in. You understand? As a United States citizen, because I am a citizen. And FDA people, stop being afraid of these people. This is our land from the beginning. This is our land. We've been here for thousands of years. This is our land. If anything, we can tell Donald Trump he can get out of America because he's an immigrant. You understand? That's what I want to say, brother. So you have a good day, okay?
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate you.
Okay.
That's very true, which is why I did that little segment later on in the broadcast, early in the broadcast, where I said, hey, do you understand that we've been here for a longer period of time than most of everybody else you see? Do you understand that even though the Black race, when it comes to the census, and they like to do it with the race, and they come to the census and they say, you guys are only 13% of the population, and we're the third largest racial demographic in this country, but we're actually the second biggest ethnic demographic in this country. We have one of the largest ethnicities in this country. We've been here longer than everybody else. All of these other groups of people, a solid majority of them came after slavery. They came after us. They came with the Homestead Act and then following other things, subsequent things after that. So we've been here longer than everybody. So they not getting rid of us because they have to get rid of everybody else. So all of this fear monger that they're coming to get you too, they're not coming to get us. No, we're not going anywhere. Caller from area code 657. You are on live. And what is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Elite, man? This D, man, out of LA, bro.
D from LA.
And,
what's on your mind?
I just want to recall when you guys were talking about the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment, see, that rule that he implemented with that executive order, it can apply in Supreme Justice cannot deny it because they will vote, and all the senators are mostly Republicans, and they took some of the Democratic seats. So when they vote, 9 to 10 times, the Republicans are going to win on the vote on when it comes to them executive orders. Now, the reason why the 14th Amendment, why he signed that, is because, listen, family, it's abuse of power on that 14th Amendment. They've been abusing that amendment by, purposely coming over here and purposely, trying to bear a child so they can all get locked in as far as parent and child, as far as citizenship in the United States of America. And what they're doing, they're coming in illegal, and they're doing a whole illegal process, right? By also breaking that amendment rule. So that's why he signed the executive order. And even I think that a lot of you guys say it's a loophole, but I purposely think the Supreme Justice is not going to be able to rule over a governmental vote. You get, if you get what I'm saying. And we're not going to have any problem. I'm just waiting for the Missouri rule to come to California and Chicago and even New York, so they can tell us, man, if the reward money gonna be like $1,000 a band, you know what I'm saying, 800 or whatever it is, man, because FBA family we can use that change, man. You know what I'm saying? We taxpayers, we pay our taxes, we go to work every day, and take care of our business. So yes. They want us to call in and help clean up this migrant crisis. Oh, FBA is with it. That's not telling. That's not ratting. That's not snitching. No, we're doing our civic duty as original Americans. Before it was America, we were here, and they can come with all these old butt bone ass jealous points about, oh yeah, you guys were kings and queens, African kings and queens from Egypt. Now. Then you were in the 80s African American, and now you guys are foundational Black American. Man, we've been getting a lot of trolls, man, from different type of ethnic groups, bro, because they don't have a stake. They don't have that. They don't have the stake that we got in this country. You understand what I'm saying? And all that talk about us being swept in for the ICE sweeps, that's bogus, man. All that is scare tactics. All that is want somebody to feel sorry for your scamming ass, tether ass out here in another country, committing crimes, and even the ones that didn't actually commit a crime, break the law, but you broke the law once you came to this country illegally. That's breaking the law from right off the jump. So once you break the law, you got to be held accountable by the law, right? And they catch you, and the family call in on you for the reward money. Just get ready to pack up, get your 40-pound bag, like they said, and get on the plane, man, and go to the exit line. And it's nothing to be crying, and you wasn't crying when you was rushing and jumping over the barbed wires or floating on the inner tube coming over here, illegally. So why cry when you got to go back to your homeland? Just pull yourself, like they tell us, by our bootstraps. You understand? And don't be lazy when y'all start to build up y'all country. Don't be lazy like y'all tell us that we was, right? And pull yourself by your bootstraps, man, and take care of business at your homeland. Or go to take them signs and protest to y'all government out there that's crooked with y'all and treating y'all bad or doing whatever they're doing, scamming y'all. Go protest at their government steps, not ours. That's all I got to say, Afro, man. Be one to the family.
Be one to you, brother. Appreciate you. We having some good calls tonight. We got some more people. We got a few more people. A lot more people. Caller from area code 917. You're on live. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Good afternoon, Afro Elite. This is Paige from Brooklyn. Nice to finally speak to you.
Nice to speak to you too, brother. How you feeling, brother?
I'm good, brother. So first of all, a couple of things I definitely wanted to address. I believe our sister Angelic said about this whole 14th Amendment thing making its way to the Supreme Court. And I think that's exactly what Trump wanted to do. He wanted it to be shot down or even put on hold and bring it to the Supreme Court, because you got to remember, Trump has about 6 judges that's on the Supreme Court. He appointed 3 himself. So he has the court packed ready in his favor. So anything that makes it to the Supreme Court, he's going to win. That's for one. For two, you touched upon something earlier, Brother Afro, when you said about you was playing a clip of that girl saying, "Don't open the door," or whatever the case is. When you aid and abetted an illegal immigrant, that's a federal crime. So that's not something that you could just frown upon. That's actually a crime. So if they was to come and you was to not answer the door, whatever the case is, you are now aiding and abetting an illegal immigrant. So to any people that's thinking about doing that, that's a federal crime. I just want to repeat that.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, you showed the video of the Haitian brother saying he's not going back to Haiti. And I guarantee you, a couple of months ago, he's probably one of those brothers that was repping the Haitian flag hard, that was saying how much he loves Haiti, and every Instagram handle or Twitter or X, whatever handle, he has a Haitian flag next to his name. Why do these people love their country so much but are so afraid and start crying when they have to go back to it? I never understood that. Maybe you could break that down for the family, brother.
That's a good point. These people really don't have the pride that they claim that they do. These people wave their flags and they will say how great their country is, how much their culture is, and then we don't have culture. They'll follow it up with saying that we don't have culture and how we jealous of them. And they will literally, that was Sage. Shout out to Sage. And they will literally be there and in our country bragging about a country that they will cry not to go back to. A lot of these people have identity crisis, because when you flee, and I'm going to get to some of the other callers real quick, but when you flee your country, there's a certain loss of pride and dignity to fleeing your country. There really is. So when you flee your country, they cling on to this artificial pride that they have, which is why they're so boastful about their country, because to them it kind of covers up the fact that they really are insecure. A lot of people who are insecure do something to compensate for their insecurity, which, like, for instance, if you, a man who's like ugly or something like that, he's always showing a lot of money or whatever the case is. He's throwing a lot of money to impress women and things. When he feels like his personality is not attractive, he does things to compensate, like he goes tricking. You know what I'm saying? So it's or if a woman doesn't feel pretty, she puts on a lot of makeup all the time, to compensate for the fact that she doesn't feel pretty. So these people compensate for the fact that they really don't have any pride and they really are insecure of us. So they do the whole, no, you jealous of us. It's a projection. No, why are we jealous of you? We're home. You're not home. How are we jealous of a home you don't want to be in? What is there to be jealous of? And I ain't no shade to all Haitians. Much respect, much love, but that's the case. Now, I am glad that you said something about the Supreme Court, because if it does go up to the Supreme Court, there is a likelihood that the Supreme Court will side with Trump in this situation, because the Supreme Court is majority conservative. It's a conservative majority in the Supreme Court. So let's be real. They could go either way, even though it kind of does. It doesn't necessarily go against the Constitution, but it kind of touches it a little bit. It touches it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that if it does and the Supreme Court says, no, we got to change it, Trump might be able to just make a slight little adjustment and that gets through. So more than likely, Trump's executive order, that's there to stay. And even if it goes all the way up to the Supreme Court, that's going to take such a long time. The damage is going to be done at this point. Somebody in the chat room asked, what is the flag on the left? You mean your left or my left? If you're talking about your left, you're talking about this. This is the Black American Heritage flag.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, I would say this: there's no such thing as an illegal immigrant that did not break the law. The
Mm.
definition of illegal immigrant, you already broke the law by coming here without being welcomed. So there's no such thing as an illegal immigrant that did not break the law. Because for people to say in New York and in Chicago, we're looking for people that broke the law, well, that means you're looking for all of them, because they all broke the law by coming here without being welcomed. And with that, I'm going to land, big bro. Black
Yep,
first.
that's true. Black first, brother. Appreciate you. Sage out here putting a lot of work in New York right now. So salute to our brother Sage. Appreciate you for calling in. Now let's get you. We got a few more callers. Lord, everybody got something to say. Caller from area code 770. You are on live. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Afro Elite. This is Kiki.
Kiki, how you doing? Kiki, where are you calling from?
Chicago. I spoke with you before. So, and actually, I just sent you a couple of text messages, so you know.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just for the
You'll
audience. Just for the audience, though.
Yes. But I just want to say a couple of things. The young lady, I want to send a shout out to her, who's a part of the Lumbee tribe. Congratulations on that.
Mm-hmm.
That young lady is operating in who she is as an American Indian. That is what we are first and foremost, American Indian. We're not Native American. That is a political group. We are American Indian by bloodline. So when I see that flag that says FBA 1526, our people have been here since time immemorial. We've been here before that time. We did not come from Africa. We are not tied to those people. Genetically, we are different people from the Africans and from the Native Americans. Native Americans are Asians. The other thing is we cannot be deported because this is our land. Our names tie us to this land. We did not get our names from no slave master or anything like that, because if you do your genealogy, majority of our people are going to discover that we were never 12 years a slave. And that's facts. The other thing is...
Can you specify, because I don't want to confuse the when you said when we do our genealogy, you will find out we were never 12 years a slave. For the audience, what does that mean?
Okay, so basically, for some reason, our people love that trauma story of being slaves. So a lot of us got that lie from school when they told us that we came over here on ships. That was all cap. The other thing, too, when they showed that movie, was it Roots, in the book by Alex Haley, who was a card-carrying Cherokee, he plagiarized that work. Roots is a plagiarized work. It was a Caucasian man named Harry Colander who wrote a fiction book called The African. And that's where Alex Haley took all of his information from that book. And he was later sued by Harry Colander for $650,000, but he later settled out of court. So Alex Haley was a paid agent. And in his own writings, he admitted that everything that he wrote was all cap. He said it was made up. Jesse Jackson in 1989 said, oh, they want to be called African American. Jesse Jackson is a card-carrying Cherokee, by the way. We never want to be called African American, because growing up, if you call somebody an African booty scratcher, that was the biggest insult of them all, because we knew we were not from Africa. The other thing is, did I explain it good enough?
Hold on, can I just so we can be clear? Are you trying to say that slavery didn't happen, or as far as you saying that we're not that, are you saying that we're not descendants of slaves? Just so I can be clear, so there's no confusion for the audience.
Okay. What I'm saying is, when our people sit down and do genealogy, which is paperwork, so that means looking at census records, looking at like old birth certificates of family members, marriage license, all that, death certificates. When you start to do your genealogy and you're tracing your family tree back to, because a lot of our people are from America, you're going to discover. So, for example, they use terminology like master. Master translates to head of household. So that meant that was the father in the house. And they called him master. But see, they like to say, oh, well, the master was the white man who was in the plantation and he oversaw 800 slaves on the plantation. Plantation translates into farm. That's what that is. So basically, like I said, when you start to do your research, you have to do your individual research. You would discover, and a lot of us are going to sadly discover that we were never 12 years a slave.
Are you okay? Are you saying that? Are you saying that slavery did not happen?
Yes.
Slavery didn't happen.
If anything, we are prisoners of war on our own land.
Okay.
And these are facts. We are prisoners of war. So basically, that whole, 400 years of slavery, all cap. Do your research.
Okay.
Because now, I'm in the process of doing my genealogy. There have not been any Africans or slaves that fell from my family tree. I have friends who have traced their bloodline back here in America, back to the 1500s, no slaves on their family tree. I have another friend who's out of New York. He just did his genealogy, and his family, who's out of Alabama, they started a land patent back in the 1850s in Alabama. So if our people were supposed to have been 12 years a slave, how were they able to start a land patent in the 1850s when they said slavery allegedly ended in 1863 or 1865? So make it make sense. And they said we couldn't read or write, but they were starting land patents. But he just acquired 500 acres of land. That's why I say we have to do our genealogy. And we can get everyone off this land once we understand that we are from America.
Kiki, I just want to clear some things up. Because there has been freed slaves even during the time of chattel slavery. Even though the United States, there was slavery up until nationwide up until 1865. There were free black people here. That does not mean 100% of black people in the country were slaves until 1965. There were free black people in multiple different places prior to 1965, prior to the 13th Amendment. But I want to go back to what you were saying before about you can say prisoners of war. Are you trying to say, and I just want to be clear because I don't want to put words in your mouth or anything, as far as like black people, or you said natives picking cotton and there is the white slave master and all that stuff, are you saying that did not happen? Because you
that
said
did not happen. That's all because
so are you saying that us being on a plantation, sharecropping, picking cotton and building, are you saying that didn't happen?
Okay, sharecropping, number one, let's break this down. With sharecropping, that was our people on our land picking cotton on our land. Caucasians shared in with that, but then there came a time and stuff where they started running our people off of their land. They started doing all kinds of fraudulent things, taking our people's stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then we wind up losing our land and stuff the moment that we decided to do the integration, where we said, okay, well, we wanted the right to vote. That right there and stuff made us U.S. citizens because we were already American. We weren't even U.S. citizens because we were already here. We are America.
Okay. You understand? Okay.
So that's why, because one thing that I'm trying to get at is that we cannot take a blanket statement of us being slaves at face value. You have to do your genealogy individually. Go through your family records. You can go and find out by tracing your family tree, and you're going to find, and I'm going to say probably 99% of our people are going to discover that they were never slaves. And these are facts.
Well, that's, according to you, slavery didn't happen. You just said slavery, it didn't happen. And that's kind of like revisionist history, because that goes against everything. For you to say that we were on our land picking cotton, that goes against documents, that goes against actual slaves, because there's actual videos of former slaves who are telling their stories as they were enslaved. There's actual videos that exist. There's pictures and evidence that exist. And what you're saying is that all of that stuff is artificial and none of that stuff is true at all. That we were not
Okay, let me say this.
under a white slave master. We were like, it's like kind of all over the place, and it's going against established truths of things that we know to be true, that we know to be correct, based off of historical record, not even paperwork, based off of witnesses, eyewitnesses, former slaves telling their stories as slaves.
Can I just say this? Because, okay, I'm laughing because, okay, I have a PhD, okay? That's number one. I have a PhD. So basically, a lot of stuff that I learned while getting my PhD, because my minor was Afro-American Studies, I had to unlearn a lot of that stuff that I learned, which I'm like, wow. I said, I wasted all that money getting this degree, and a lot of this stuff is all cap that I learned. That's number one. Number two, one of the courses that I took while I was working on my PhD, we had to read, what was it? It was called like slave stories or something like that. Mm-hmm. But we had to like listen to tapes of people who were allegedly former slaves. And as I was listening to those, you had a lot of those people refer to each other as nigga. They would say, oh yeah, that nigga over there was stupid. That nigga. So basically they called each other nigga. That was the first thing that I picked up on. So I'm listening to this and they're talking about a slave experience. It didn't make sense to me because, well, at the time, I was believing that we were slaves. And at the time, I was identifying as a Black person until I was awakened by my ancestors that I was American Indian. And remember what my grandmother told me, you ain't no damn African, you didn't come from no damn Africa. So basically, once I started to do my research, that's when I started putting two and two together using common sense and doing research to discover slavery is not what they said it was.
Okay.
All this stuff, you know, because
now,
your first slaves and stuff in actuality were white people.
Kiki, I'm gonna have to ask you this because we have more callers and it's getting late and I want to be fair to everybody. So as far as reparations, do you feel like we deserve reparations? What is your opinion on that?
Yes, we do. We deserve restitution and reparations. We want our land back. Okay, and so, like I said, but you cannot go under the guise of being a slave, but all the other trauma that we have experienced, like the Tuskegee experiment, all that stuff.
Let me specify what I'm talking about. Do you feel like we deserve reparations for slavery? Because that's what the reparations movement, that's the core of the reparations movement, is reparations for slavery, the slavery that built the country. Are you saying that we deserve reparations for that? Because I don't want to say you said something that you didn't say.
Okay, so let me just say this. Back in 2016 is when I started my journey of doing my research in genealogy. And it dawned on me because I was like, man, I said everybody's getting reparations for their so-called struggle that they had. And a lot of that stuff is capped too, but their little stuff. But anyways, so I was like, why haven't we got ours? Then when I started, thinking, and the ancestors are sending me downloads, maybe the story of slavery didn't happen the way they said that it happened. That's probably why we have not gotten anything.
No, but I know we haven't. That's true. We haven't gotten it. But I'm asking, in your opinion, do you think that we deserve reparations from slavery? Are we owed reparations from slavery?
We are owed reparations for all of the trauma that happened to us because, like I said, when you do your genealogy, that's what you have to understand.
Okay.
Because when you do your genealogy, some of us are going to discover our ancestors were never slaves. That's what you have to understand. So basically, I don't want you all.
So if our ancestors,
your ancestors never suffered.
Kiki, let me ask you this one last question. if our ancestors were never slaves, what are we owed reparations for? Like, now I'm asking you. I'm not saying we're not, but
Okay.
what are we all of us, not some of us, but what are
Okay.
all of our lineage owed reparations for?
Okay, one, the reclassification. We went from American Indian to color to Negro, Black, African American. The confusion that they have caused us, the Henrietta Lacks study, not awareness, the Tuskegee Airmen. I mean, not airmen, but the Tuskegee experiment where they gave those men
And I agree with that. I agree with that. And
all of our towns across America being burnt down.
I'm gonna say this because I know there might be a little delay, but I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna have to move on because we got people who've been waiting and it's getting late, and I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to speak. Let me say this. We've been through a lot, and it's a lot of people who have gone through a lot of different things. I am not owed reparations for what the Tuskegee experiment. My family did not go through the Tuskegee experiment. So the lineage of them, their descendants, they are owed reparations for that. Their descendants who are descended from the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre, who are owed reparations for that. My family didn't experience that. So there are different incidents that are separate that are people owed reparations for. But one thing collectively that all of our people are owed reparations for is slavery, because America was built. It was built by something. It was built by slavery. And it's so much proof.
No, America was already built before slavery because our people built it.
So yeah, and our people.
But also too. Can I just say this, and sorry to cut you off, but there was more than one act of race riots. Tulsa was not the only one. It took place in every state.
I'm using Tulsa
state.
as an example of an individual situation. Yeah. Is definitely not the only one. But I am going to say America was built through slavery. It was built by slave labor. That's what built the government. That's what built the wealth. That's what built the establishment. That's what built the roads. That's what built all of the infrastructure that everything else was built on top.
The infrastructure was already. You have to do your. You know what? I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go so your people can go ahead and finish talking.
And I respect your call. And I appreciate your opinion. But let's get to the other call.
But I'll be in touch with you because I do have your number. I'll be in touch and stuff because I want to send you some stuff. Okay, thank you so much for letting me speak.
All right. Now we're gonna get to. Appreciate y'all patience. I really, really do. Caller from area code 444-440. I'm talking like I'm Jay-Z. 440. Lord, first. Hey, you're on live. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, I'm doing fine. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit.
I can't really hear you. You're a little low.
All right. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, put you on the speaker. Yeah, I said I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I agree with her to a certain extent. Some of us was already here, but some of us did come from ships, from Africa too. So it's almost like, I'm not gonna say half and half, but it's near about, and like I said, because it's too much documentation, too many people that like you said, did interviews in the 10s, 20s, and 30s and 40s that were former slaves, and there's too much evidence, to the contrary. But I will say this. I kind of agree with everybody with that DEI hire because, people are riding the coat. People are riding off the black man blood, sweat, and tears, the black people's blood, sweat, and tears, and they're getting the benefits because affirmative action really helped more of the, let's say, unattractive white woman, that some have, suggested they did because they one who benefited from it. Because if you go back to the article commercials back in the 50s and 60s, they showed a certain style, a certain look, and everything like that. Also, what I was about to say is the DEI. It's a big melting pot because minorities. If you say minorities, a gay white man could be a minority. Disabled white man could be a minority. A disabled white woman could be a minority. And other nationalities, over 10 nationalities or more than that, can be minorities. So you just, you get the back end of everything, all the programs, the access, and the resources that Black Americans have been getting. Even though we fought hard for it, we got the blood, sweat, and tears from it, but other people are riding off our experience, and they're getting just as much access and resources to programs as well as other, etc., because of what we have done through our blood, sweat, and tears. And that's not fair. We should get, so I don't have no quarrels with him, Trump, going away with it, because we haven't been benefiting from the affirmative action like that or the DEI hires. Because when you say people of color, that can include over 10 or more ethnic groups. You know what I'm saying? And, we probably getting less than 5% of it, 10% of it, and that's not fair. And I say, we got, if we come into our own, and like I said, and if it's Black people only, we can get more access and resources. But, you got to stand alone on your own too, stand alone to yourselves and stop including everybody until you get yourself up.
Now, I want to do, and I appreciate you calling in with that subject. I want to do a whole nother separate live stream, which is why I did not tie the DEI thing to this, because I think the immigration thing is one thing. So I'm going to do a whole nother live stream. I am glad that you brought it up because it is important and we do need to talk about it. But I'm going to do a whole separate live stream about the DEI thing, and then people get to call in and they get to voice their opinion on that. But I kind of want to keep it to like the immigration thing.
Okay, with immigration, like I said, immigration, like I said, to all these other ethnic groups that's coming over, they're getting the access and resources. They got to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, like they telling us. So if you love your country and you got to pride your country, you always having your flags on your cars, on your clothing, and you saying, I'm proud to be from this country, well, then go back and develop there. You know what I'm saying? Because, if you're that proud, you want left to begin with. And that's pretty much sums that up, So.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your call.
No problem.
All
you
right.
too. Bye-bye.
All right. More callers. We're going to callers, I appreciate y'all patience. I really do. But let's keep our messages and our comments concise. Comments, questions, all that. Let's keep it concise so we can get to everybody. I've seen people drop off, and I want to be fair to everybody. Make sure everybody get their chance to speak. So we got caller from area code 304. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Afro. This is Miss Nisi.
Ms. Nisi, how you feeling, sister?
I'm fine. I will be short and to the point. My opinion only. Them last two callers, especially that Kiki woman, she's an op. You've been in the X spaces. You know what I'm talking about. But to stay on subject, we as foundational Black American lineage-based reparation movement, I believe in my soul that the Most High is allowing us as a people to watch the falling of Babylon, i.e. America, with 3 Ks. And I'm going to land my plane.
I appreciate that. That's true. That's true. Our time is coming. That's true. Thank you so very much, Nisi. I appreciate you. I appreciate your call. Let's get to the next caller. Caller from area code. Now, a lot of people in the chat room saying the thing about Kiki. With the thing with Kiki, I did not make any type of assumptions. I didn't. I said, hey, let's clear this up just so we can understand where you're coming from. So I don't want anybody to be all like, well, because anytime a caller, and callers do this all the time, anytime a caller comes in and the chat room gets on them, they call back and they be all like, that's not what I said. You mixing my words up. I don't mix nobody's words up. I will say again and again, is this what you're saying? Are you saying this? Let's be clear. This is your stance on this. And they will be like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then they get drugged in the chat room and they call back and be like, that's not what I meant. Come on now. Ain't gonna do that. People do that all the time. Caller from area code 704. You're on live. What is your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up? Name is CeeLo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Where you calling from, brother?
I'm calling from North Carolina.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. Okay, first of all, they came here. They snuck in. They got resources. They got jobs. They laughed in our face. They got on YouTube and everything else, TikTok and all that, and they were shaking their butts and dancing with money. And every time I went to Walmart, I'd see them with full baskets with their kids and laughing.
You got a lot of background noise. The audience is saying you got a lot of background noise. So are you on speaker or am I on the TV or something like that?
Okay. Oh, hold up. Let me turn this speaker off. Sorry about that. Yeah,
okay.
Kiki, she had some knowledge, but she bought their lie, you know?
Mm.
She paid for the white lie. I'm sorry to tell her. But some of the stuff she was right. As far as the immigrants, they don't know because they unlearned that if they just turn themselves in, then they stand a chance of coming back. If they have to find them, then they can't come back for 10 years. Their paperwork is nothing for 10 years. I hope them the best. You know, I really do. But all that laughing and he and ha-ha and caught up with him. I saw a guy, he told a black woman, he said, no more for you. Talking about stamps or something. He was saying no more for you. Now, no more for you.
It's true. That's true.
You know? And they are very racist people. They have dark-skinned Mexicans. They call them niggers over there. They're dark-skinned people. That's their brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So how strange is that? And the crimes they do, they're unorthodox as hell. We don't do stuff like the crimes they do. And we don't need that here. We already got enough as black people to worry about with cops and our own people sometimes. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That woman, I don't know what she was talking about as far as slavery didn't happen. My last name is Boyd. Boyd is not no African name. Boyd is a white name. And our people own they own plantations and businesses. They still got a business now, Boyd Lufer. You know?
Mm-hmm. That's
as far as the migrants, they need to turn themselves in.
Yeah, they do.
On themselves.
It's better because here's the thing.
Know?
What would you rather be an immigrant living your life looking over your shoulder? Because it's not like you can work. Because the second you step outside, you looking around and trying to see if ICE is going to pop up around the corner. You can't go outside.
Right.
You can't work.
Right.
You can't go to school. You can't. What can you do? You might as well go back home and then try to re-enter legally. That's your best option right now. That's the very smartest play right now for you to do that. Because what you're doing, hiding in somebody's basement, you think you're gonna live there forever? And then why would you want to?
I'm serious. That's right. And I mean, if they turn themselves in, like I was saying, they get that they can put the paperwork in. Maybe it'll take 2 or 3 years, but still you can come in. If you don't and they catch you, you are getting kicked out, and you can't come back for 10. You can't even put your paperwork in for 10 years.
Yeah,
I hope they understand that part.
Yeah,
you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they understand that.
Option. That's what we should be telling them. I'm gonna say this because there's some more callers, but that's what we should be advising them to do. We should be saying, hey,
that's right.
You know,
Yeah.
get your paperwork in order. Y'all go to it. Y'all say, hey, we came here, whoop the bam, but we are turning ourselves in so we can go back home, and then try to do everything the smooth way. But all of this stalling and hiding, if ICE got to catch you and detain you and lock you up and all of that stuff, good luck trying to come back. What are you doing? And it's not like you can even live they say they want to live the American dream. You can't live the American dream hiding in somebody's apartment complex.
You sure can't. You ain't gonna enjoy it
at that point. You hiding like a fugitive.
Right.
Why would you want to do that? Is when Kamala lost the election, they should have said, okay, it's a wrap, it's over. We might as well go home. It's over at this point.
That's right. That's right. Yep. You see, but now they're selling their stuff. That's cool beans for everyone, for an American, because they're selling it for dolo. So y'all, if anyone looking for cars, it's your time to buy one.
Oh yeah.
All you gotta do is find Rodriguez. You can get you a car for dolo. You know, I love all people, but hey, they got to start thinking, because if they got to catch them, it's gonna be real hard on them.
Yeah.
Because them people ain't gonna be playing when they snatch them up. You know, right now, because the cameras are on them, they ain't wilding. But give it a few months, you're gonna see them getting beat, bashed, and everything else, because some of them gonna fight back. And that's ridiculous to even think of. You know, just turn yourself in and take whatever's coming. You know, you got to go back home. Some of them done did crimes and can't go back home. So, okay, go to the first country you get to. You know.
Hey, well, that's they bet they got a lot in it. That's their situation.
Right.
I appreciate your call.
Right.
Let me get to some of the other
thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Hey, and that's real talk, man. I mean, let's be honest. What is the most logical, non-emotional play? It's to turn yourself in. It's over. All of the free immigrants coming in and they get to do this and they get to get all these programs. The program shut down, the benefits shut down. Y'all might as well turn yourselves in, because y'all gonna get caught eventually, and it's gonna get worse if you get caught. But hey, you know, they don't make the smartest decisions, clearly. Caller from area code 317, you're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This Big Kev from Indianapolis.
What's on your mind, buddy?
Indianapolis being a red state as far back as I can remember, they just passed a law today saying if you get pulled over or if you get arrested or however detained, they're gonna run a check on you to make sure you belong here. So some woman gets on the news with this sad story with violins in the background. Oh, they just fear-mongering a whole community. No, they not fear-mongering me. You see what I'm saying? Because I can remember some stuff. I can remember Indianapolis before the Pacers and the Colts came here. So that's not fear-mongering me. They can run and check on me. I got my ID, my VA ID, and all that on me. You see what I'm saying? So that really ain't gonna bother me for them to do that. Like some guy that my brother worked with tried to offer him $1,000 to put a car in his name for this dude. I said, "Don't you do that." And my brother said, "Yeah, I told him to go F himself." I said, "Don't you get involved in that." You know what I'm saying? So another thing I have a problem with is these women. See, they always go after our women with these violin stories in the background. Oh, they're going to fear a whole community and they got children and blah, blah, blah. And see, what our women don't realize, the feminists and all that's going to come after y'all all the way up until the next election. They're going to fearmonger y'all. And see, here's the thing. If your behind was in the same predicament they would turn you in. They wouldn't have a problem with it. But y'all, they want to get y'all want to case for everybody else and their kids. Well, if they were so loving of their children, they wouldn't have brought their children across that cold ass desert and across the river to get here. You see what I'm saying?
Brother,
so
let me
that's
say
no
something real
good.
quick.
Women.
Let me just say something to capitalize on that. These people act like they care about the children, and these people don't care about children and family and all. These people make it seem like they such a tight-knit family and they care about this stuff. Do you know these women will really literally get pregnant by straight up strangers just to have an anchor baby? Do you think that these people, I want y'all to really think about this. Y'all think these people are having anchor babies with their husbands? These people are out here having anchor babies, getting pregnant by complete strangers just so they can have an anchor baby in this country. They don't care about the kids. They don't care who the father is. All of the stuff about what about the babies. They bought the baby from their homeland because the adult was broke, and they bought the baby from their homeland, crawling through barbed wire and everything like that, so they can be an American. So all of this violin playing and all that stuff, don't let them pull your heartstrings. Don't let them do that.
And they always get our women to cake for them. Our women had this thing, they always want to cake for these people. And see, well, since Trump wrote it, I'm going to go ahead on and cake for him since Trump did it. Yeah, since Trump did it, I'll cake for him. You just can't never open their eyes. It's like they got a spell over our women, because every single time, and this has been going on since the 60s, every time black people start flowing in one direction, here they come tapping our women on the shoulder. Hey, black woman, here come the feminists with their bull crap. Here come they all with their fear mongering. Oh, well, the black people gonna suffer. How can we suffer for anything? And Trump can't take a law that they never put in place for us anyway. They never put no laws in place for us, but they always trick us into believing, oh, Trump gonna do away with that law. That's gonna hurt you. Y'all never put a law in for us anyway. So what law can he take from us? You see what I'm saying? You can't get these women to understand that.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, we do have to be fair. To be fair, I don't think a lot of our women, I don't think a lot of FBA women is really got the capes on. I don't think a lot of them are. I think what they're doing is strategic, and they do this all the time. But what they're doing is they'll find like a feminist, or they'll find one woman who like super pro immigration or whatever, and then they'll highlight a video of her or a Democratic shill, and they'll go out there like, I can't believe my best friend, she's deported and all that stuff. And then you'll have the algorithm boost that video up. But a solid, if you look like on the internet, you don't really see a plethora of foundational Black American men or women really saying nothing. We cool.
Yeah,
part. We really cool. You know what I'm saying? But they'll take like that one woman I played. It was two women I played. They'll take those videos, and then the algorithm will like boost that up, so it'll be like 1 million something views. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be careful with that little thing that they do.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And I think as long as we just sit this out, this ain't our fight. Just sit it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Whatever happens, gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true. But I appreciate your call, brother. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
All right. Let's get to the next caller. I appreciate your patience. You've been waiting for a very long time. Want to make sure I get to you. Caller from area code 747. You are on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, hey, it's Shay. What's up, man?
What's up? Where you calling from, Jay?
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm in California. I'm in LA, and they got all these crazy fires and stuff going on right now.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say,
brother. But yeah, keep going. I don't want to throw you off.
Yeah, now I just wanted to say they come here with nothing, looking for a handout, and then they look down on us. They don't help us as, just black people, and they don't help black people. We tried to team up with them, like you were saying earlier, but MLK said it best. The U.S. has been subsidizing immigrants the whole time instead of giving us our 20 acres and a mule.
Yep.
That's when he said, we coming to get our checks. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to say that much. And like you said, this ain't our business. And, they got to deal with things the way we've been dealing with things. And then they bring down the wages, the working wages. Then they want to bring over their work ethics that our ancestors fought. Because women couldn't even vote till 40 or 50 years ago. Women couldn't even vote until we started getting involved for those kind of things. As far as our voting rights, and they added them into it also. So it's a lot of things they bring these people in, and in their country, it's way worse. So they think it's okay, and so now they're lowering our working standards, our living standards. But I just wanted to say that and let more people get on. Thank you for the show. We appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to the LA family. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this also. When it comes to the wages and the working wages and stuff like that, if a establishment has a business like a factory, and the factory has 50%, just 50% illegal immigrants, and then 50% FBA citizens. If I'm paying, I get to lower the wage because I know that the illegal immigrants, y'all gonna work for a really low wage. So 50% of my labor is already being covered by a low wage. So I'm not gonna pay the 50% of FBAs as much money as I should. But if I have all of my workers, all of my employees are FBAs, then I'm not going to be able to get away with paying them under the minimum wage or paying them under what they deserve. So it's going to raise the bar for everybody. Because what happens is a lot of these companies, they'll have, and I'm just using 50%, they'll have majority of them working under what they should be working for. And then the few citizens that come there, they don't get as much money because most of the labor is already being covered for illegally. But when people actually have to pay for legal labor, they actually have to charge, or not charge, they have to pay more money. The wages go up. So I want us to understand that with the illegal, the mass deportations, wages are actually going to start going up now. So we're going to start, I'm telling you, it's going to be a big benefit. It's going to be a very big benefit. Next caller, let's get to caller from area code 347. You're on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, 347. I'm here. I'm sorry. I was talking to a wife.
I was about to say, brother. What's on your mind? What's your name? Where you calling from?
You can call me Easy. I'm the person that put that super chat in.
Oh, okay, Easy. What's on? Where are you calling from, brother?
I'm calling from Harlem, New York. My roots are from North Carolina. Down in down near where the Lumbees are from. I wanted to say congratulations to Lumbees on getting their recognition. It's way overdue. Way overdue. Also, I want to say these mass deportations, this is only the beginning, and it's beautiful. It's a good thing. So many callers have basically said the same thing. We are owed so much by the country we built, and these illegals come here and then look down on us and our people, not knowing it was us who opened the door for them to get here. The majority white did not want diversity. Because of the civil rights movement, we were able to open up the door and bring these people in mass, and then they look down on us. And I want to say something else about language. It's important for a country to have a common language. Many of these mass deportations, These people can't even speak English. And they come in here and complain about what we give them for free. Up here in New York, the mayor was giving them credit cards to buy food because they were complaining that the food they were getting was not good enough. You have homeless veterans. They were not getting that same treatment. So I'm happy to see it. I thank God for it. And we just need to make sure they continue. I want to also say, they're not just, my understanding, they're not just going after the criminal illegals who came here illegally and then committed crimes. If they find somebody with them, they taking them. The people who file for asylum that they feel is fraudulent or they stopping that, they're going back, which a lot of the women from these Latin countries do. They come here illegally and then they say, oh, I want asylum because my husband is beating on me. It's over. It's gone. All of it. The gang, the crime. And you have one guy from Massachusetts, from Boston, when they found him, he had been arrested for sexual assault, for rape, and then got taken out. They let him loose locally. Like, what are we doing?
Yep. That's very true. A lot of these people, when I played that news clip, these people have a laundry list of crimes that they've committed. These people are like career criminals. And that is the first group of people that Tom Homan is going after, are those people. These people are not here, and it's not like you stole a little Kit Kat bar or something. You grabbed a couple pieces of candy from the dollar store and you ran out. No, this is not that at all. These people have sitting up there. They've done some horrific, terrible things to people in their country and in this country. They don't need to be here.
And in this country. And in this country. That's the part, bro. You did it when you got here illegally. You still doing it. What are we talking about? It was a slap in the face, man. Thank you. I appreciate listening to your show, man. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Let's get to the next caller. Yep. Next caller. I think we can wrap it up here. We've been on for like 3 hours. We can wrap it up here. Caller from area code 717. You're on live. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Brother Afro, can you hear me, brother?
I hear you.
This is Chris calling from Harrisburg, PA, by the way, Lancaster. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, but those callers that was talking about slavery didn't exist and all that nonsense. Let me start off by saying this. Man, listen, all warrior scholars like Dr. John Henry Clark and Dr. Claude Anderson, they've made it clear in their books and their writings and their lectures that the number one thing that built this country was the labor of foundational Black Americans, the descendants of slaves, the ones that's been here since eons. Like, you know, your people, my people, our pious predecessors and ancestors built this country. If they want to know the truth, why don't they just read Black Labor White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson? That'll clear up all their misconceptions, because that really goes deep and in depth. I've read that book like 20 times, brother. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to end this, since I'm the last caller, since I'm the very last caller, I just want to end this phone call with just asking you just one question. Because, you know, every time I hit your show up, man, or your program or your broadcast, I always got a question, because I know you're real good about really, I wouldn't say predicting, but, you know, giving an observation, prognosticating on what you assume, you know, what could happen, the possibility of something happening. Let me ask you something, right? I want to ask you about Michelle Obama. Now, she has not been she didn't go to the inauguration. She did not go to Jimmy Carter's funeral. She hasn't been seen in public with Barack. And I'm starting to speculate that, you know, the Democrat Party does not have anybody, you know, at the forefront that could run for office or, like, you know, that's charismatic enough. Is there a possibility that they could be molding and giving Michelle Obama up to right now to possibly run on the Democratic ticket? Because, I mean, I know she's FBA, but I think they're going to try to, like, pop her up, you know. And I don't think she's going to do anything for Black people either, but do you think there's a possibility they might be somewhere, like, molding her and, you know, trying to get her up to, you know, run for office? or whatnot. Like, what's your observation on that? Thanks for taking my call, brother. B1 salute.
B1 salute to you. Thank you very much. As far as Michelle Obama is concerned, it is looking kind of dicey. I'm not gonna lie. It's looking kind of weird because Michelle Obama, she was not at Jimmy Carter's funeral, which was interesting. Michelle was not at Jimmy Carter's funeral. And then when it came to Donald Trump's inauguration, she wasn't at Donald Trump's inauguration. Okay. She left Obama to go to Donald Trump's inauguration by himself. Obama, who the former president, was literally the only one in the building without his wife. He walked in that building completely by himself because Michelle did not want to go. So, not gonna lie to you, as a couple that everybody was talking about as a power couple, all that stuff, that's a bad look. That's a bad look. Now, here's my thing. As far as to answer the question, if she's going to run, Michelle, people need to understand that Michelle is not a politician. They can be desperate because what the Democrats are is the Democrats are desperate to get somebody popular enough to have some type of a chance. Kamala Harris, there was no way people disliked her. They need to get somebody likable. Right now on the roster currently, the Democrats don't have somebody who is two things. They need to be two things. They need to be popular enough, which means well-known. They need to be well-known enough, and they need to be likable. They need people around the country, not just in their state or city. They need people around the country to have a favorable opinion of that person. So that's two things. That is popularity and it's likability. All right. As far as that's concerned, the Democrats really don't have nobody on their roster. Gavin Newsom is well known. Gavin Newsom is popular, but Gavin Newsom, and when I say popular, I just mean well known. I don't mean that in a positive sense. But Gavin Newsom is not liked, especially after what's going on in California. Nobody likes Gavin Newsom right now. So Gavin Newsom is not liked nearly as much as he would need to be to stand up against, well, Trump's not going to run again, but stand up for a term for presidency. Okay. Bernie Sanders, he's popular. He's well known. Bernie Sanders has tried again. Bernie Sanders is not liked enough for him to have a chance. The society does not like Bernie Sanders enough. Kamala Harris, very, very well known, very popular, was incredibly disliked. So Kamala doesn't have a chance because you need both of those things. There are some Democrats who are not disliked, but nobody knows who they are. Somebody was saying J.B. Pritzker, but when people look at J.B. Pritzker is not liked. J.B. Pritzker is not going to fare well during the debate and during a campaign. J.B. Pritzker is not liked. That's one of Trump's biggest advantages because Trump was popular and Trump was liked. Trump was likable, at least to the people he needed to like him. That's the thing. There's a lot of people who dislike Trump, don't get me wrong. But the thing is that Trump didn't need everybody to like him. He just needed certain people to like him. And the certain people Trump needed to like him loved him. That's the thing with Kamala. Kamala didn't need everybody to like her. She just needed certain people to like her. And those people didn't like her. The thing with Gavin Newsom, those people, the people he needs to like him and back him, ain't gonna back him. The people that J.B. Pritzker needs to like him and back him ain't gonna back him. When it comes to Michelle is very popular. But let's be honest, she's popular because of Obama. Let's be very clear with that. We would not know who Michelle Obama was if it was not for Barack Obama. Now, we know Barack Obama is not liked like he used to be. He's very popular, but he's not liked. He's very well known, but he's not liked. Not like he used to be in the early 2000s. In the 2008, 2009, you can say nothing about Obama. Now people can't stand Obama. People don't like Obama, except old Democratic shills. But this is the reason why Michelle Obama is popular at all, is because of Barack. So if Michelle thinks that she's going to branch herself away from Barack and she's still going to be on that same notoriety and pedestal and she's still going to be just as likable. She's not. I'm going to be very honest with you. A lot of people like the way Michelle carries herself, and a lot of people like that stuff. But gonna be honest with you, Michelle is not as super liked as people make it seem like she is. And that's just the truth. There's a lot of people who like Michelle, but Michelle doesn't need to be just liked. Let me be clear. Michelle needs to be loved. In order for her to have any chance in hell, she needs to be loved. She needs to be a phenomenon, and she is not that. She does not have the likability. She does not have the community support that the mainstream media and all of these CNN and MSNBC make it seem like she does. She doesn't. Michelle Obama is not, she's a very popular person. Don't get me wrong. Okay, she is one of the most popular women, black women especially, to ever be in like a political conversation. But let me be honest, she is not no Harriet Tubman. She is not Sojourner Truth. She is not no Rosa Parks. She is not a black icon by any means. And if she thinks that she's going to try to branch herself away from Obama, which some people might theorize this, Obama has been spiraling down. Obama used to be, I want you guys to remember, back in 2008, 2009, back during Obama's first term, even during his second term, you couldn't say nothing about Obama, especially around black folk. Black folk defended Obama. Black people made all types of excuses for Obama. Black people did Obama was a damn icon to black people until black people saw that Obama wasn't going to do anything for us, until black people realized what Obama was really about. And Obama has been going down and down and down. It started ever since he left, when he's all like, if you don't vote for Hillary, that's a disrespect to my legacy. And we didn't vote for Hillary. And it seems as if every time Obama comes out during the campaign and talk about his legacy, he misses. Now, every single where Obama goes, Obama's constantly getting berated by, why didn't you do anything for black people? Even Charlemagne had to say that. Which is why you don't really see Obama doing interviews like that. Everywhere he goes is, you ain't really do nothing for black people. Obama has to go in these very controlled environments where everybody in there is already pre-vetted, because Obama cannot survive a why didn't you do anything for black people question anymore. So Obama has been spiraling down. His popularity, keep this in mind, not his notoriety, but his likability, his respect level in the black community has been spiraling down ever since he left office. So what Michelle might be thinking is that Obama is spiraling down, and does it really make sense for me to go down with the ship? She might be thinking that, like, hey, Obama, he was this powerful man. Obama was so respected. Obama was admired back in the day. But now Obama, he's a meme. He's a joke. Obama's not respected. Obama was getting, if y'all saw it during the inauguration, now, of course, this is a bunch of MAGA folk, but Obama was getting booed. Obama was the only one getting booed walking into the inauguration by himself. That is embarrassing. Obama is damn near an embarrassment now. So Michelle might be thinking, hey, it might be best if I cut my losses. I still got a good few years left in this political thing. So it might be best if I cut my losses. The Democrats are desperate. They still need me. I still got some likability. And what Michelle may be thinking, this is just a theory, she may be thinking her likability is above Obama's right now. Michelle may be thinking like, hey, I got a better chance at rallying a crowd up than Obama. So it might be, and I'm not saying what's going to happen. I don't know, but she might be saying like, hey, I might need to cut my losses. Who knows? I'm going to tell you what I do know. Tell you this. Won't work. It won't work. It would be smart for her not to do that because okay, because her legacy was tied to Obama. It would be smart for her not to do that at all. And the thing is, she don't have a chance. She's never been a politician. That's one thing. Her stances are too tied to Obama. See, this is the issue with Kamala Harris because Kamala was way too Kamala, hold on for a second. Now, sorry y'all. Kamala was tied to Biden. So much so that anytime she went around, it was all like, well, what would you do differently from Biden? What would you do differently from Biden? Remember that. Everything Kamala was doing, every place Kamala was going, it was like, well, what do you disagree with Biden about? What would you do differently from Biden? Because she was so tied into Biden and his administration. This is going to be the same fate if Michelle Obama runs. If Michelle Obama runs, it would be, well, what do you disagree with Barack about? What would you do differently from your husband? That's how it would be. If Michelle Obama runs, if Michelle Obama does an interview, if she's on the campaign and she talks to people, of the question she's going to hear, because she's so tied to Barack, the question she's going to hear is, Barack Obama didn't do anything for black people. What are you going to do for black people? That's the question she's going to hear. She's going to be badgered with the question of people will hold Barack Obama accountable, and they will hold Michelle accountable because of Barack. People everywhere she goes, she's going to hear, well, Barack didn't do this and Barack didn't do this. So how are we supposed to feel like you're different from Barack? She's too tied. So if Barack goes down, she goes down too. The legacy is the Obama legacy. So when he goes down, even if she doesn't go down as fast, she is going down too. So she's not going to have a snowball's chance in winning the presidency. She's never held office before. She's too tied in with Barack. She's too tied in with the Democrat agenda. She's not going to get that. And the thing is, the main issue is she does not have enough black support to carry her the way through. The same way Kamala didn't have enough black support. Now, she has more black support than Kamala does, don't get me wrong. But the thing is that it's not enough. And the second she does an interview, and when we ask her, what are you going to do differently from Barack? Barack ignored black people. How are you going to do something different? And if she does not answer that question correct, it's over with. It's done. She doesn't have a chance. The second we ask her, especially her being a black woman, because Kamala's not a black woman, she's a black woman. So the second we ask her a reparations question and she don't get that right, it's over with. So what the Democrats are trying to do is I don't think they're trying to run her. Why I don't think that is because they feel like they would get better mileage out of her by having her in a supportive position, because they know she's not going to make it to the White House. It's not even going to be close. She wouldn't even make it past the primary. It's not going to be close. What would make more sense for the Democratic Party to do, I know I'm saying this the long way, but I really want to break down. What would make more sense for them to do is for them to keep Michelle Obama in a supportive position. So whoever they do decide to run, they have Michelle to support that person. They have Michelle to go campaign for that person. That's where she fits best. She fits best in a supportive role. But if she tries to be the main person, if she tries to be the headline, if she tries to run a campaign, it will be over before it starts. It will be over. And if she thinks that her trying to separate from Obama is going to help her at all, I guarantee you it won't. It won't. She's too tied in. It's going to be what are you going to do different from Barack? And she's not going. I can guarantee you, she's not going to answer that question correct. She is not going to answer that question correct, and it's going to be over. We got a lot more super chats. Let me get to y'all. Let me see. Hurricane says he had tacos for dinner. You know what? I think I might need some tacos. I'm talking about some tacos. Red Sigma says, stay woke, FBA. Stay awake, FBA. Yep, we staying awake. We ain't going to sleep. We vigilant. We ready. Easy says, what's the flag on the left? I already answered that. That's the Black American Heritage flag. This one right here. And this is the FBA flag. And he says the Fourth Amendment was for FBA. It absolutely was. Then he sends another one. He's just been blessing us with super chats. She was wrong. There was slavery in America, and Black Americans were enslaved, taken from Africa, and or enslaved in America. College was a waste. Damn. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's my belief, and that's been my belief for years now. There were Black people on this land centuries before Europeans came here, but there were also enslaved Black people who came through the slave passage, through the Middle Passage to this land, and it's been mixed in. So you have the indigenous Blacks, and then you have the enslaved Blacks from Africa, and they've been mixed in, and with that mixture comes FBA. So I've had that stance for years now. It's correct. Okay. DSB again sends another super sticker. Thank you so much, DSB. Alpha Male Pimp Network says, this is Chris, the last caller. Thanks for taking my call. Oh, shout out to Chris. Appreciate you calling in, brother. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, and the slavery thing, listen. You would have to rewrite the entire American history to say that slavery did not happen. Cotton is king. Cotton was king. Are you saying that we were not picking cotton for the benefit of a white slave master? And they'd be all like, well, technically master just meant head of the household. Master does mean head of the household in that context. Master, like master bedroom or whatever the case is. Master also means the master of slaves or master of people who own things. Slavery is not no new thing. So let's not be... I mean, it was going here and then it was going here. And then I would ask a question and then, you know, she would say, when I was 15 years old, and I'm like, it's going here and here and here. And all I was doing the whole time is I'm being all like, you know what? Let me be specific, because I don't want you to be all like, you're putting words in my mouth or whatever the case is. I'm saying, you're saying slavery didn't happen. And then you're saying slavery didn't happen the way we thought it happened. It didn't happen at all, or it didn't happen the way we thought it happened. Okay, we weren't slaves, but were somebody slaves? Okay, no. Come on now. I mean, it was all over the place. Man, we've been on here for almost 3.5 hours, y'all. Jeez. But we had a lot of good information. I love taking calls. I really, really do. We're going to have to start taking calls more often. I need you all to subscribe. Now, I saved the DEI subject because there is so much to talk about with the whole DEI thing, and I really want to break that down, but I don't want to like tie that into the immigration thing because that's kind of two separate subjects. So I want to do a separate broadcast on the DEI thing, and then I'll have other people call in and I'll have you guys weigh your opinions on the DEI subject. All right. But as far as ICE, like our sister Nisi putting in the chat room, hey, let's get this money. There's rumors going around that ICE is paying money. They paying up to $750 allegedly for people to call in and make tips. So like one of the brothers called, he was all like, hey, I'm going to record them or whatever. Brother, and he from Chicago. Brother, get your money. Brother, get your money. That's what we need to be on. Our eyes should be, you know how in the cartoons, when your eyes turn into the dollar signs, that's what our eyes need to do. Our eyes need to turn into dollar signs. We need to see cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Our eyes turning into dollar signs and blowing up. All that's what we need to be on. That's what I'm on. I'm seeing opportunity. I'm seeing opportunity. I'm seeing money. I'm saying, hey, this gonna hold us off. All the money we gonna get from the deportation, This is gonna hold us off till we get our reparations. That's how I'm looking at it. Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Oh, we gonna be good. And we're getting rid of menaces to our society. So that's very true. That's what we're doing. Chicago is a hotbed, yeah. Chicago standing on business like always. Shout out to Chicago. And brothers and sisters, I need you guys to make sure that you guys follow me on my various social media platforms, because certain people claim that they don't get notifications, and we know that's true. So if you follow me on my social media platforms, every time I go live, I put a notification out. So that way you know when I'm live or when I post a video. All right. So you know this. So make sure you guys follow me, and the links to those are in the description. Now, we already got some new subscribers. I've seen you guys say you guys are subscribing. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure, I want this to be the super liked video. Make sure that you guys hit that like button, because we had some very important information. Make sure that you guys subscribe. If this is your first time, please subscribe. Join the family, subscribe. If you guys have been subscribed, double check to make sure you guys are currently subscribed, because they be playing games. So double check to make sure you guys are currently subscribed. Hit that notification bell and leave a comment. Let me know. Are you guys gonna are y'all down with the deportation? Y'all down with mass deportation? Let me know. Are y'all down with ICE coming in and getting them up out of here? Do you guys fear the end of birthright citizenship? Do you guys think that birthright citizenship is going to get us deported? Let me know that in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys have to say about that. And with that being said, I appreciate it. We've had a long broadcast this evening, but it was really good, really educational. I appreciate chopping up with you guys like I always do. So be one to every single last one of you, brothers and sisters. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you, and y'all stay blessed.